I think we're live. I think we're live. Let me see. Check me out. No, are we live? Tom, come here, buddy. Tomas. Corre, corre, corre. No. I just. Okay. Tilt the camera a little bit for me.
Where?
And can you hear me okay? No, you go on the other. Like tilt the top down. Not that much. Kind of look and see what you're doing. Like, look. You know what I mean? That's probably good.
Perfect.
Yeah, probably good. All right, we are live. Man, that was a chore. I got one person watching. I'm so bad at this. Who's watching? Go make yourself known. Send me a comment. Noe, can you go comment on me?
Yeah.
Bring your camera. Let's see here. All messages. Who's here? Who's here? Noe, tell me if you could hear me, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here's what I'm gonna do. Free box of avocados to the first person to make a comment. Whoever's here. I see I got 8 people. I didn't announce this live stream, but I'll tell you guys why we're doing a live stream right now. We don't have like an announcement to make or nothing like that. We're just doing a live stream. But I got, okay, 17 people are here. First person to go into the chat and make a comment. First person I see gets a free box of avocados. Ready, set, go. Where are the comments?
Yeah, I can see all the comments.
Oh, people are commenting?
Yeah.
Why can't I see them?
Hi, Tom.
Okay, you got to tell me who was first, Noe. Get your son. I need help. I need technical.
Hello, everyone from Petersburg.
Okay.
Corey.
Why the heck can't I see comments? Do I have them disabled? Tell Tommy to hurry up. God dang it. God, I suck at this, man. I can't see my comments. Okay, we got 20 people watching, so it's time to start the stream. As you see here, we have a big pile of fruit in front of us. We've got Mamey, longan, mango, avocado, what else? Well, okay, and then I also have this. This is gonna be another contest. So the first person to tell me what type of fruit is this, first person to identify this fruit wins a box of avocados. Go. Tommy, I can't see my comments, bro. Can you help me out here? Wait, let me see, test. I can't even see my own comments. What the heck? Okay. No, wait, let me, I asked you to bring your phone.
Can you?
And bring my soda, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, so, Noe, here's what I want you to do. First thing, I want you to bite into that mango and give that a taste. Tommy, can you see my comments at all? Okay, let me see. Let me see your phone. Get me up.
Go.
Get me up on there.
Here you go.
Maybe try bring me up in Chrome, Tom. Can you mute that? Okay. All right, I guess I'll look at your, where do you see the comments in this? This is so embarrassing. You'd never know I have a degree in computer science. Nothing, Tom? You want to try Google Chrome?
Right there.
Okay, so let's see. Who do we got here?
I mean, you could just go like this.
What? I know, but I want to be able to type to them. You know? But okay.
Just talk to them from here.
So, oh, the gay space. He was the first one there. Okay, you win a box of avocado. Gay space. So PM me or DM me. Go into the about section of the YouTube channel and reach out to me and tell me, you know, what's up. Tell me your contact info, and I'll be sending you a box of avocados. Oh, you might be the guy that's from Canada. You might be disqualified from that. Your country won't allow my fruit in, but whatever. If it's not you, it'll be Corey Bethune from St. Petersburg, Florida. Night Wolf is there. Tommy, go into Google Chrome and bring me up on YouTube that way. Oh, Tony, how you doing, buddy? We got Crystal. Hi. Jeff, how you doing? Kathy, Nightwolf, cuss like a sailor, yet he posts a heart. Isn't that a Isn't irony? I think that's irony. Did you taste that piece of fruit?
No.
Taste that. See if you can guess what it is. Obviously, it's a mango. Okay. All right, Tony's ready. Let's see if Tony, if you got my first question, or if anyone got it. Is it coming up now, Tom? Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay.
But you're not logged into your account.
Oh, so it's not going to be me? Oh, man, do I hate technology. I fucking hate, sorry about that. I hate technology, man.
Are you gonna need me?
I don't think so, Tom. So if I try to sign in, then it's going to go through that whole Google nonsense where it's going to send me a code. We're not doing that. Because then it's going to tell me to change my password. It's going to be a whole thing. I just won't type to people, Noe. I'm just going to have to look.
just
Oh, can you
don't-
get a pencil and paper? Oh, what'd you
Yeah,
think of that
sure.
piece of mango?
That's amazing.
That's a Gary.
That's a Gary?
Yeah,
Oh,
baby.
wow.
And you didn't try did you try the orange sherbet yesterday?
Yes, it was
Oh,
amazing.
We're
So
going
what
to
do
need
what do you need?
pencil, notebook, and pen. All right, let me get caught up on the comments and then we'll get going here today. Tony's ready. Gay Space is ready. Crystal says hi. Jeff says Tom. Edward, great info. Thank you, Edward. Greater Good, how you doing, my man? You win. Greater Good wins. Greater Good always wins. Oh, no, wait, no. Oh, no, wait. No. Nightwolf won. Nightwolf, you win. So Nightwolf, go into the About section. Send me an email or, whatever contact methodology you prefer. Send me your mailing address, and you won yourself a box of avocado. So that's Nightwolf and Gay Space. If you're not in Canada, Corey, you're in second place. So if Gay Space can't win, Corey, you win. Gay Space, let me know. Are you in Canada? I can't remember. Here we go. Let's see. I don't need to see any comments, buddy. Is that you, GZ? Man, a lot of people got Jackfruit, but Nightwolf was the first one there. Cuss like a sailor, durian. Okay, the way to, this Jackfruit does resemble durian. The way to know this is not durian is I'm not throwing up right now. If this was durian, I'd be vomiting because I can't even be in the room with the smell of that stuff. So, box of avocados. The first one goes to, who did I say? It's either Gay or Corey, I think. So, Gay, let me know. Are you from Canada or are you within the United States? Who cares? Corey, you won too. Corey Bethune, go into the About section, send me your contact info, I'll send you a box of avocados. And I ain't gonna chase you guys down. The last time I did this, where we did the giveaway, some people replied, some people didn't. It took me forever to chase people down. We did get everyone their prize out, but now you gotta be with it, man. You gotta step up a little to get your prize. So if you want your prize, go in and send it. And then we got Nightwolf gets, okay, so that's box of avocados, and then Nightwolf got one. Okay. All right. Okay, Noe just, okay, so why are we here right now? Okay, the reason we're here right now and the reason we did this last minute and didn't make any announcements is I happen to be, have some success on TikTok this week and also on Instagram. I've been avoiding those applications because I'm an old man. I got a gray beard. We've been married almost 30 years. I'm 53 years old. My friends already have grandchildren. I feel old on TikTok. I feel old on Instagram. I feel comfortable on YouTube and Facebook.
Me too.
Yeah. And so I've been focusing in those areas. But my young son, who's 15 years old, said, Dad, you're having so much success on YouTube. You got to get on TikTok. You got to get on Instagram. And I started doing content for those applications and was getting no love, no traction at all. But that's the way YouTube started out too. And then all of a sudden things kicked in. I started getting millions of views on my
Crazy.
on my TikTok, and then and the same thing happened on Instagram. So I thought, hey, let me try a TikTok live. And it was going so good. I had 64, like concurrent viewers. Then my dang phone froze. And I lost, went down to like 9. The TikTok audience is very fickle, man. That camera freezes, they are gone. But I think I know why.
Why?
Well, on my TikTok, because when Tommy set me up, I thought those lives was all like 40-year-old big booty girls in yoga pants dancing. And then someone explained to me that's because that's what I stop and watch so that's not all of TikTok. That's just what TikTok sends me because that's what I watch.
That's funny.
So I thought, an old guy talking about fruit wouldn't get much love. But I ended up getting 1,100 viewers and I made money on the TikTok stream. I did a 1-hour TikTok stream and I made 6 cents. They give you little rewards over there. You know, like the girls on OnlyFans, they give
Yeah,
you
yeah,
like a
yeah.
stripper, like
Yeah,
they were giving
yeah.
me tips.
That's funny.
And they give you these little coins, like you're on OnlyFans or something, you know? And then you cash in the coins. I got 6 cents worth of coins.
That's funny.
That's the least amount of money I ever made for an hour's work. Okay. So let's see who we got here. And then I wonder if my dad, text my dad. Tell him to join us on YouTube. Yes, greater good. It is Noe. Tony's showing off, you knowing the scientific name. Is that the scientific name for jackfruit? Tom, do more of these, Jeff says. Yeah, I think I'm gonna do like twice a month. Like maybe the second and fourth Friday of every month or something. We're gonna figure it out. I have to get better with like the technical aspects of it. I'm not quite happy with my setup and the audio and the video and stuff like that. Make whatever videos. It's not breadfruit. It's jackfruit, and Nightwolf was first. Yeah. Oh, okay. Gay Space is in Michigan. So you got yourself a box of avocados. Corey got a box of avocados. Nightwolf got a box of avocados. And on the off chance that anyone happened to catch our last stream, this is for a SleepyLizard baseball cap. Who could tell me the variety, the most commonly grown variety of mango in the world? I'll give you a hint. Here's what it looks like. This is what it looks like when it's cut open. Ready, go.
They're going to get it.
They better get it.
Mm-hmm. It's easy.
The Gay Space says, you look 30. I assume he's talking to you. I don't feel 30. I don't feel 30 this time of year.
No.
I'm in my third shirt already. I sweat through shirts like
he
crazy
sweats a lot.
in July and August working here. Artful Watcher, have I considered making SleepyLizard UV protection hoodies to sell, like hook fishing gear? I know exactly what you're
That's
talking
such a great
about. Yeah,
idea.
and I think they would be great. I do have long sleeve, like what would you call it? Poly blend, like t-shirts, and I think they have some UV protection in them. But I know exactly what you're talking about, those fishing ones, and they'd be great for outdoors people. And yeah, I need to do that. The trouble is I sell a ton of fruit, but like, let's say for every 500 boxes of avocados I sell, I might sell 2 t-shirts, you know what I mean? And so people, go figure, people don't look to me for their fashion. Okay. Instinct. You don't understand why Facebook is hated by so many people. If you're looking for experts in a particular field, there's no better platform than Facebook. And yes, just ask the people on Facebook. What I always say is the surest way to ruin a hobby is to join a Facebook group about that hobby, because you run into a lot of gatekeepers and stuff. But I'm a fan of Facebook, you know, and I've been doing good there with my reels and stuff like that. They've been getting pretty popular, yeah. And I've done a very good job like blocking and curating and managing my Facebook, and I've got rid of like so many negative people. And if you were to scroll through my Facebook, you're pretty much gonna see fruit, Volkswagen buses, a little bit of mountain biking, maybe some Grateful Dead music stuff, and that's about it. I don't even get like I rarely even get like politics on Facebook anymore, because I don't really want that negativity in my life, and so I've tended to kind of block the people who are obsessed in those areas. And so yeah, I agree with you, but I think Facebook is seen as kind of like the older generation, you know, and my son kind of laughs at me for going on Facebook. Greater good, keep the batteries charged. My wife got me a brand new charger, which it's plugged in, so we'll be doing that. Alex McCurry, Valencia, no, but you know me. Valencia is one of my favorites. Tony's talking to 6 cents. Tommy Atkins, greater good, you already won, so that you don't get it. Jose Sandoval, you win the prize. So SleepyLizard cap goes to Jose Sandoval. Sandoval, S-A-N-D-O-V-O-L, S-A-N-D, Sandoval. And okay, so Jose, when you win a prize here on SleepyLizard YouTube channel, you got to go to the About section of my channel, look up, like it says, like send an email, you know, and then you send me an email and then we'll be in contact. You can give me your preferred color, red, gray, blue, or black, and your mailing address. They're snapback, so you don't have to give me your head size. Okay, what'd you think of that mango, Noe?
That was amazing.
Yeah,
So the Gary?
No, oh yeah.
You said this was the Gary, no?
Yeah, that was the Gary. Now, did you tried the orange sherbet yesterday? We have another one here, but look, it's kind of a day beyond its prime, but it is still freaking delicious. This mango on this side has what's called jelly seed. If you look at it, when they get too ripe, and this is what happens when they ripen on the tree a lot of times, they break down in the middle and you lose so much. And so, you know, people accuse me all the time.
Do you want some?
Of course I want some. People accuse, can you grab my towel?
Sure.
People accuse me all the time in the comments of my YouTube videos of picking my fruit too early. And, oh, you need to let a mango ripen on the tree. You need to let a mango ripen on the tree. I disagree with that. If you look in front of me, I've got a bunch of mangoes that are just starting to blush, or some that are even still pretty green, but they're soft. I do not let my mangoes go all the way ripe on the tree. Now, sometimes it happens by accident, right? And we'll see a ripe mango on the tree. We'll pick it and eat it right then and there. But they often break down and lose their flavor. It's always best to pick a mango and let it kind of soften on your counter for a couple days. That's when you get maximum flavor. But oh, how about, tell them about that orange sherbet.
Oh, it's delicious.
Yeah.
It's like an explosion of flavor in your mouth.
And do you taste the
good.
orange in it?
Yeah.
You know what it tastes like? Those old, there used to be these creamsicles, they called them. It was like orange with like a white cream popsicle. Orange sherbet tastes like a creamsicle. In fact, if I was gonna name it, I would have named it creamsicle.
So good, huh?
Okay, now we're gonna shift.
Let me get a containers for that. No?
Okay. Oh, here we go. I have this here. Now this is, we already had the winner to the contest. This is so this is the other end of the spectrum. The orange sherbet is like a specialty. You know, it's a variety that was bred to taste really good. It was developed. The Tommy Atkins was more developed to be a commercial variety. It's more developed to grow fast, to grow large, to give a big yield, to be disease resistant. It definitely doesn't rank up there with the flavor of a orange sherbet or of a Gary or of some of these other ones we have here. This is called Little Gem, I think. Little Gem. I know you liked those yesterday. We're gonna eat one today. They're not even as good as, say, the Kit or the Kent, but I still think they are a delicious, delicious mango. And so, Noe, this is my trick. I'm always, well, Julian taught me this trick, Julian from Lara Farms. But if you pick a Tommy a little earlier, don't let it ripen on the tree. And also, when you cut into it when it's just starting to soften.
Okay.
Other mango varieties, you maybe let them go another day. The Tommy, you can get into it when it's just starting to soften. Feel how firm that flesh is?
Yeah.
You want to feel the knife cutting through it. That's when they're best.
Super firm.
Yeah. See, a lot of times you're eating a Tommy, you bought it at Publix or Kroger's or at the grocery store. It's falling apart in your hands. Even if you're buying it in Florida, it's likely that it was grown in another country and imported, even during mango season, which means it was picked too early, it was chilled, it was gassed, and they lose all their flavor. How about that mango?
This is so good.
Delicious, right? That is a good mango, right? I could give this to someone, they wouldn't even know it was a Tommy.
No.
They wouldn't even know.
No, it's so good.
Yeah, it was such a great tip Julian gave me a couple of years ago. And now I typically don't sell Tommies. One of my groves has a few trees with Tommy. I generally send them to the packing house. But this year I did ship people Tommies because we just didn't have as many varieties to choose from. It was a bad year for mango. And I put that in the instructions. I say, you know, I might have 3 Tommies and a couple of, this year would be mixed in with some Maha Chinook. I say, let the Maha Chinook go soft, but eat the Tommy when it just softens a little bit, and people loved it.
So good. So good.
Yeah. Show them the flesh of that Mamey.
Oh my God, look. It's beautiful.
Oh,
This is
that's another tropical
amazing.
fruit. Mamey sapote. There's a few varieties of that. I sell the Key West, the Magana, and the Pace. This is the Key West variety. For me, this is the sweetest variety I've tried. I tried a new variety yesterday. I can't remember the name, but it was such a deep red. This is more of a salmon color. Well, maybe my wall is more of a salmon. No, actually, I don't know. I don't know my colors. But this is like an orangish pink color. The one I ate yesterday was a deep red, almost like rare prime rib.
What does it taste like?
Nah, it just tasted like Mamey. It was nothing special. If anything, I got a little bit of a salty, savory-ness to it. Where this Mamey tends to taste like a really well-cooked sweet potato with some like cherry and some tropical in it. And this happens to be the Key West. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, it's Tommy Atkins was the answer. Jose won. Hayden would have been a good guess too, but it's not. It's Tommy Atkins. It was Hayden 100 years ago. Wait a minute. Video for Geeks said he was before Jose. We got to go back to the tape. No. Yeah, but you guessed Hayden, dude. You guessed the wrong. You didn't get it right.
No,
you guessed
you didn't
Hayden.
get it right.
And Jose, Jose Sandoval. You can't be guessing twice. There's no guessing twice on the SleepyLizard YouTube contests. You log your guess and you live with it. Now, since Tommy Atkins was your first guess and you were first, you win. But if you guess something else, taking your second guess. You don't do that around here, tons. But anyway, you won. Geeks, you guessed Hayden, which was wrong, and then you were right that you were ahead of Hayden with the wrong answer. Video for Geeks, I'll do a contest just for you. If you get this right, I'll send you a box of avocados. No, I can't do that. He can Google it. Never mind. He can cheat.
You can cheat.
Yeah. Thank you, Gay Space, for emailing your info, and we'll be sending I think you want a box of avocados on Monday. I'm not sending avocados I'm not sending anything this week.
No.
There's a tropical storm here in Florida. Even though it's 300 miles from us, even if a tropical storm hits North Carolina or Virginia or Louisiana, Texas, it screws up the post office for the whole country. And my fruit sits somewhere and rots. And so I learned my lesson. I'm not sending any fruit this week. I'm holding all my fruit till next Monday. I make whatever videos. Palmer, no, Palmer was never a super big popular. Palmer is around and it's in that Hayden, Tommy, Kit, Kent. In fact, we should have some Palmers somewhere around here. Is this no, I don't know. I did pick a few this week. Johnny Gonzalez says Alfonso. No, but that's a very popular one over in India. And then Sammy7919. Hey, buddy, can you tell me, please, what the name of that big avocado you got there? So this one or this one? Because I got this monster here. This is a Pollock. And we kept this one for ourselves. I didn't send this to a customer this week because it looks like a squirrel might have tried to take a couple bites out of it. That don't bother us.
No.
But I'm not selling it to someone. This is called a Pollock. This is like a June mango. Very dense, thick flesh and a sweet flavor. Okay, now this one I just tried yesterday for the first time. This is called an Apmay. APMAY for April and May. So this guy starts in June. We've got Donnies that start in May. My Monroes start in November and they go all the way to February. But generally February, March, April, and most of May we're left without avocados. Until last year, Julian from Lara Farms found this at the research center right across the street from our farm here. And it ripens in April. Wow. And so they named it the Apmay. April, AP, May, M-A-Y. And you see it was, even this morning there was a little more green in it, but this one turns black. And it's got, feel how like dense that is. Yeah. It's heavy, right?
Super
That's
heavy.
got a very thick, dense flesh.
It's like a rock.
It is. And you know how I can sit down and just, I could chow down that whole one. I could chow down 2 of these. This is a big variety. I can eat 2 of these. Dude, a couple forkfuls. And I was stuffed yesterday.
Really?
It is such a dense avocado. So I don't know if you're asking about the Apmay, but I gave you the history on that. This one here is a Pollock. A bunch of my customers have been getting Pollocks for the last month, and the feedback has been very positive on Pollock. Yeehaw, pleasure to watch. Thanks, Crunch. Corey just emailed me. Good. Tommy, you guessed it right, but you were like way too late. Greater good, you gave your hat to the guy who turned you onto my channel.
Aww,
Wow, that's great.
so cool.
Thank you for doing that. I hope to see him in the wild with the hat on. Greetings from Crescent City, California. So it's only like 4:15 in the afternoon over there. How you doing, California? You know, California is one of my biggest it's the 7th largest economy in the world, not just in the United States. California is the 7th largest economy in the world. So it's no surprise that they're one of my biggest customers, and I can't send them mangoes.
That's so sad.
I can't send them longhans.
So
I
sad.
can't send them lychees. I can send them avocados because I'm a commercial avocado grower and I'm registered with the state of Florida. But there's so many fruit I grow that we grow here in South Florida that we can't send you guys in California. It's not us. Your government has an embargo or a quarantine or whatever you want to call it. There's a list. There's a prohibited list of fruits and plant material from the state of Florida, and unfortunately, mangoes are on that list. I get a lot of angry people from California, and I'm like, dude, that ain't my rule. Talk to the governor, you know. Okay. Wait, Video Geeks, are you protesting again? No. Okay, I got your protest. Yeah. Nightwolf, do I have fans in my greenhouse? I used to when it was an orchid house. I do not have fans in the greenhouse now. No, I took them out. Instinct thinks I once mentioned that too much rain reduces the taste of the fruit. Does too much rain also remove all the fertilizer? Yeah, we're talking about mangoes. When you get a lot of rain, they kind of fill up with fruit. The Valencia Pride and certain other varieties will even split. They fill up with water and split. And so, yes. Now, fertilizer, I really don't know. I don't know if you get like higher than normal amounts of rain, if that'll like dilute or wash away your fertilizer. I really don't put much thought into it. You know, I fertilize my grove twice a year. I fertilize my potted trees once every 60 days. And I just stick to that no matter what the rain, no matter what. Tony's determined to create a spicy avocado. It's not impossible. I mean, I would like to be able to graft a garlic, you know, like a stalk of garlic, a sprig of tomato, and an avocado onto one tree and make all the ingredients of guacamole right on one tree.
Oh my God,
that would be cool.
Awesome.
And I once thought that I discovered a spicy mango last season. You remember this?
Yeah.
Tell them what happened. Do you remember what happened?
Yeah, you cut the mango and he's like, oh my God, this is like a spicy mango, try it.
Like a jalapeno,
Like a
kick.
jalapeno. Oh my God. And he was so excited. And then he discovered that the knife.
The cutting board.
The cutting
And
board.
the knife.
And the knife had like the flavor of
I had cut up some peppers to make mango salsa, hot peppers, and then I forgot. And when I cut the mango later, I thought I had cut it. I thought I like struck gold.
That's so funny.
Yeah, I thought I found, because you do find like spice. There are spicy mangoes actually.
Really?
Yeah, there's mangoes that are described as having a spicy flavor. I had one yesterday called Orange Perry, and I get a little bit of a clove flavor in it. Okay, let's do this guy. This was that little gem that you liked yesterday. I think that's what it was called. Little gem.
You know, just like that, really?
I think that's what it. I told you cut closer to the seed, man. Why do you always do that?
Right.
Yeah, this is the one you tried yesterday.
There you go.
Thank you. This one's nice. No jelly seed at all.
No.
This must be a late season mango. We got this one from Paul from the Fruitful Trees YouTube channel. Paul don't like this one. He grows it in his yard and he wants to get rid of them. And I'm like, hey, if you want to get rid of the fruit, give them to me and my wife because you loved it yesterday. So did I.
So good. Real good.
Oh, I love that.
My God.
And a little bit of spice in this one. A little bit of a spicy, resiny flavor, right?
Yeah. So good.
Paul's always laughing at me. He's got much higher standards, much more rigorous standards than I do. You know, can you run and turn that light on? And so whenever he takes me on a tour of his yard, he kind of gives me the mangoes he don't like. And he says, you know, this is my plans. I'm going to rip this tree out and put something in, or I'm going to stump this tree grab a new variety onto it. And so he was telling us about these, and he let us try a few. And me and my wife loved them. And I was like, I'll take as many as you want to give her. He's like, take as many as you want. So we took like 4. I don't know why he doesn't like it. This is good.
It's real good.
I mean, that's 3 mangoes we've had and 3 very distinct flavors, right?
Real good.
Is that your favorite of the 3 so far?
Yes.
The Tommy, the orange sherbet. There's another orange sherbet. We might as well eat that. That one's getting the jelly seed too.
Okay.
Yeah, try to come closer to the seed,
Okay.
you know? So there's that orange sherbet again. Oh, did you put my seed in there? You know what she does? My son and I were talking about this now.
Look.
She's got her chickens, and she is so quick now to say, oh, you know, these leftovers are done, or oh, you're done with your plate.
My babies.
And then she runs out and gives our food to the damn chickens. And I know that's why you put that seed in there for the chickens, right?
No.
What are you gonna do with that right there?
What I'll do, honestly, I'll just peel it like that.
Yeah.
Put it in the other container with the seed and give the rest to the chicken.
Yeah, I know. That's what I just said.
No. But look, is this something you eat?
Yes.
Okay.
What are you?
Okay.
Dude, yeah, see that? Look at, there's a nice quarter of a mango, and look at what she did. Stuck it right there for the chickens.
Okay.
She used to do the same thing when our son was a baby.
Sorry.
I'd go for leftovers, she'd have the food hidden.
I love my chickens.
Oh, that's good. Now see, I'm eating real close to the seed. It's a little late for this one. This one has been on the tree too long.
Really?
Still good, but not like at its max where it could be. There, now the chicken can have it.
Okay, you want to try that one?
Yes.
Okay.
What is that, the other half?
Yeah, that's the other half.
Oh, I'm getting full already.
Yeah.
I've been eating fruit all day. I ate fruit all day. That's all I ate. Well, no. Paul's wife made me some chicken and rice. And then I had some, then I ate fruit, like pigged out on fruit the rest of the day.
Yeah, we ate a lot of fruit yesterday.
That's good. That wasn't as good as the other one, though.
No?
The first orange sherbet was better. This one's a little too soft, a little too far gone.
Okay. What else you want to try?
I want to eat the rest of that little gem.
Okay.
It's so good.
It's amazing.
Yeah, Crunch. There are mangoes that are described as spicy. There's like 3 main flavor categories. Classic, which is generally what we eat. It's what we grow. I love the classic mangoes. I love to be reminded of when I first moved to Florida and that nice Florida mango taste. And then you've got Indo-Chinese, I think they call it, which are like the more Asian varieties. And then you've got unique, which are ones that have like one-off flavors. Like I ate one yesterday that tasted a little like apricot. We ate one last year that tasted just like apricot.
Just like apricot.
Just like
it was
apricot.
amazing.
There's ones that taste like coconut. There's ones that taste like pineapple. They taste like candy. I had one yesterday called ambrosia. It tasted like man-made candy.
What?
I'm just seeing what you're giving to the
That's
chicken.
for me.
All right.
I do smell.
All right. Greater Good, you worked in a nursery in 1976 and you sold 20-1 Tommy Atkins over second place Hayden. Yeah, I mean, the Hayden was overtaken by the Tommy. You know, the Hayden was the commercial. You had the Magolba, then you had the Hayden, and then you had the Tommy. And so, yeah.
I think I should show them my chicken so they understand why.
Go get a chicken then. Go get your little babies.
One of them.
Okay, if you can get one. Make Whatever has noticed that the Florigon, where are we here? Sorry, I fell behind here on the comments. Make Whatever noticed that the Florigon almost has to be tree ripened, otherwise no good, picked early. Yeah, you got to get to know your mango varieties. You got to get to know your trees and what you're growing and when to pick them. Yeah, it's not really formulaic. There's a little bit of an art to it. You need to know by each variety. You need to know what you can get away with. It's the same with my avocados and my Monroes. I can pick them November, December, January, right up to Super Bowl Sunday even. Now, usually I don't keep them into February because by then I'm out pruning and trimming my trees, so I want to get all the fruit off before I do that. But I can if I want to. Whereas Donnie's, they start in May. I need to be pretty much done with them by mid to late June, or they just kind of, they start to get soft. They start to get watery, stuff like that. So you got to get to know your fruit individually. And everyone came into the nursery looking for Tommy Atkins. Yeah, I'm not surprised. I mean, it's very common and it's beloved. It's only recent. Well, I shouldn't say it's only recently, but I think, like I said before about like Facebook and don't let him eat the jackfruit. All right,
He's
show
so
them.
grumpy.
Show them who's been eating all my leftovers lately.
She's so cute. Look, this is
Your
my
little chicken. You want some mango?
Thank you, hon. You're so
I'll
sweet.
give her a little piece of this mango. There you go, doll. You want it?
She's scared. Her heart is like,
Oh, okay.
She's scared.
Let her chill out. It's the first time she's been in the house that I know of. You probably let them all in when I'm not here.
No, this is the first time.
Yeah, Crunch, if you want to try some mango, I don't know where you live or where you're from, and ordinarily I'd never recommend anyone visit South Florida in late June, early July as a vacation, unless you're a tropical fruit freak. Or I guess if you like to go snorkeling for lobsters.
Yeah.
But if you love tropical fruit, mid-June to early July, or mid-July even, is paradise here. And you'll try all different kinds of mangoes with all different kinds of flavors. Greater good, I'm not surprised that a Tommy Atkins would make good green mango pickles. Chris, how you doing, buddy? You're glad I went live tonight. Oh, okay. It reminds you to buy another box of avocados. I bet there's an order from you out here. Let me see. Yep, there you are, Chris Farr. I'm not going to give out your address. One of my best customers. I'm always happy to see your name. Artful Watcher, how you doing? You ordered scions from Tropical Acres, and you're hoping they don't get messed up in terms of shipping due to the storm. You got Cac Mango, and Ronnie, and Oro Negro scions, and you know they're on the way. They did ship them because I know. I was with Alex all day yesterday, and I know he's like he's a very conscientious man, and so I would imagine if Alex sends you a package, he's certain it's going to get there. Yeah.
Let me put her away, okay?
Oh yeah, so say goodbye to the chicken. Say goodbye to the chicken, everybody. To the hen. Oh.
She's adorable.
Yeah. You could bring the rooster inside.
No, he bites.
Tear up the house.
He bites.
Well, looks like we won't be eating that hen. She's kind of attached. Okay, Video for Geeks. You get a hat. You're a winner in my book. Video for Geeks. Go to the About section. Send me an email. You just won yourself a Sleepy Lizard hat. Greater Good. Pollock. Firm, buttery, nut taste. Yeah, one of them will feed a family. You're absolutely right. And dense, right? Dense and starchy. And even a sweetness. There's a sweetness to it. This Mamey has a very similar flavor to the Hass. To the one you get in the grocery store, which is delicious. And the story of the Mamey, this comes from rootstock. This is not like a unique variety that was cultivated. This is a tree that had a grafted Oro Negro. Julian told me the story. I'm stealing Julian's story here. It had Oro Negro grafted on it. The Oro Negros failed, and the tree reverted to rootstock, and these are the fruit it gave. I'm sorry I'm making you hungry, Crunch. Artful, do we have issues coming onto the property, theft on the farm? Not on our farm. We did have a rash of burglaries. This is an interesting story. We had a rash of burglaries a few years ago. And there's not a lot of houses out here. There's only probably 15 houses kind of like in what you'd call our neighborhood, because it's all big farms. And there was guys coming out and kicking in doors and robbing people, robbing houses. And they got to this one guy down the street, and he had a gun, and they had a gun, and he shot them, and he killed one. It was two guys. He killed the guy, and the second guy he shot and injured, and they got the front porch or onto the front yard. It was right out here, right down the street. And so then a girl comes driving in a car. She's screaming, crying at the cops, "You killed my brother, you killed my brother." And one cop was particularly alert. He's like, how do you know your brother's the one that's shot dead inside the house? Well, it turns out she was the one who dropped them off, and then she was circling back to pick them up after they broke into a few houses. And in the state of Florida, if someone dies during the commission of a felony, the people who've committed the felony are charged with first-degree murder. So that means that if you break into my house and you have a gun and I shoot you dead, that's a felony, and you have an accomplice with you and your brother. I shoot your brother dead, you get arrested for felony murder. And so the guy that lived and crawled out the house, he not only got arrested for burglary, but he got arrested for felony murder, which was the murder of his accomplice, which was killed by the homeowner. And then the little sister got arrested too, because she kind of told on herself when she came back to pick them up. And we haven't had any break-ins since then. Now, as far as fruit robberies, fruit theft, yeah, we have a huge problem with that. There's two types. There's residential, where people just think it's okay to walk into someone's yard and pick fruit off their trees.
I don't understand that.
I don't either. And, oh, well, it's just a fruit. Oh, it's Mother Nature put it there. God put it there, you know. No, someone went out, dug a hole, planted a tree, pays to fertilize it, waters it, maybe loves the tree. A lot of people go out and count their fruit. I know sometimes when I'm pulling out some of the trees that are for us in our non-commercial area, when I'm going down our dirt road, I think, okay, I'm going to pick that mango later when I come back today. And it's gotten to the point where people they bring a little ladder, they have their own picking poles, they have their own plastic tubs, and they drive around just stealing from people's yards. And it's horrible. And people think it's kind of funny, ha ha ha, like on Facebook, on the fruit channels and the thing about, the Miami City channel. Oh, it's a victimless crime, blah. No, it ain't. It's not yours. And if it's not yours, you don't take it.
No.
People say, oh, I didn't know someone owned that land. Well, you don't own that land, So you got that. Then for us in the farms, it could get real bad. There's organized crime level theft that happens. They've got refrigerated trucks. They've got refrigerated packing houses. They've got distribution networks.
They're so organized.
And it's basically a black market fruit industry, and with their own distribution channels, employees, and everything. And it's bad for two reasons. Number one, if a farmer gets a bunch of his fruit stolen, that's his livelihood. And when you're a farmer, you hear the phrase, bet the farm. I bet the farm. That's what a farmer does. Every year, a farmer takes his money and puts it into his crop. And then he cares for his crop, and he pays his employees, and he pays for his maintenance, and he buys equipment, and he repairs his for his chemicals and all that stuff, and he waits. And then at the end of the year, hopefully your bet wins. Hopefully you have a good crop, and hopefully there's a good price. Okay, if you're a criminal, you don't have any of those costs. And sometimes if you're a farmer, you do all that, and let's say it's tomatoes. And let's say the price of tomatoes plunges. You lost your bet. Well, they don't pay people to go out and pick the tomatoes. Sometimes it costs more to pick the tomatoes and send them to market than the price you'll get. You're not going to pay 15 grand to pick a field of tomatoes that you're only going to get 10 grand paid for. You just let them die on the vine, right? Well, if you're a criminal, you have the luxury to pick and choose what crop you're going to steal based on what has a high price. If you're a farmer, you're already committed to beans, squash, zucchini, avocados, mangoes, what have you. If you're a criminal and Mamey is getting a big price and avocado isn't, you go steal someone's Mamey, right? So that farmer is out. Is everything okay? Oh, okay. Oh, there. Thank you, Tommy. Found my glasses. So you steal my Mamey. I'm not making any money on Mamey this year. Then there's another problem. Mamey has to be ripe, and it's tricky to ripen, to choose when Mamey is ripe. What we do is we go on the tree and we scratch it, and it's called scratching red. If it scratches green, it's not ripe. It won't ripen properly. If it scratches red, if you see this color or a very, very light green or yellow or light brown, then you know it's okay to pick, particularly if it scratches red. Then it's gonna ripen. They'll just take all the Mamey. Then they go up to Miami, up to Hialeah, up to Fort Lauderdale, and they sell unripe fruit. And someone who's never tried a Mamey before buys one, brings it home, it doesn't ripen. They say, well, I don't like that fruit. Or they'll do it with our avocados. And someone, you know, has an avocado that looks like this. It never ripens, it turns black and gets moldy on their counter. So not only does the farmer lose his crop that year, but all of us lose market share because they're unscrupulous. And so, yeah, there's a lot of theft here. And it's, I know they raised the penalty or the degree of crime. Like I don't know if it's like a felony or if it's some type of federal offense to steal from a registered farm. And they do aggressively patrol out here. We also have another big problem with crime with dumping. Someone doesn't want a boat. There's been a boat sitting in their backyard for 30 years and they just, you know, they drive it down here in the middle of the night and they just dump it on someone's farm. You know, it's terribly disrespectful.
It's
terribly
horrible.
disrespectful. Scumbags, really. Scumbags. I mean, even if you reach over someone's fence with a pick and pull and steal their mango, you're a scumbag. It ain't your mango. And I'm sorry if someone put in the comments it's no big deal, which I'm going to look right now, and I don't mean to embarrass you, but you're wrong. It ain't your mango. Don't touch it. Even if it's on the ground. He just drop on the ground, so if I steal, then it's okay. No, it's not okay. If it's his property and his tree and his mangoes, if he wants to let them drop on the ground and rot, they're his to drop on the ground and rot. Rant over. Who got me going on that?
I don't know, but
Artful watcher. Bill B. Bill, I got a question for you. Are you the guy on TikTok also that's always the first one to comment? Whatever. Tommy, can I touch on Florigon and why it almost has to be tree ripened? I don't know specifically the answer to that. I just know that, like I said earlier, you got to know your varieties and when to pick them. Like I said with the Tommy Atkins, we try to pick them a little early. You know, our Valencia Prides, we pick them early, but if one or two ripen on the tree, they're fine for us to eat. You know, now I wouldn't sell them to someone because they're not going to have any type of shelf life. But I don't know why you're getting that behavior specifically out of your Florigon, but I will say it's not out of the ordinary. I mean, it depends on the variety of the fruit that you're growing. Jose is in California. You want to order a grafted mango tree, but have yet to decide which one. Jose, do me a favor, buddy. Google your USDA hardiness zone. Not that it matters, because for mango, there's no such thing as a cold hardy one. But I just want to make sure, like if you're down in like 8A or something like that, it's going to be really hard to get fruit from it. You'll have to bring it inside and stuff like that. But I always recommend for growers, I recommend the Valencia Pride. The Valencia Pride, it's not a specialty variety.
It's amazing flavor.
But it's delicious. You know, I would say it's not going to be as good as this orange sherbet. It's not going to be as good as a Gary, right?
Yeah.
It's not going to be like that white Perry.
But it's real good.
But then again, I can't sit there and stuff my face with these specialty ones because they're too rich.
Yeah.
I could eat 10 pounds of damn Valencia Pride. But the reason I recommend Valencia Pride, it grows like a weed. You plant it, it's going to grow fast. A lot of people,
they're big.
They're a big fruit.
Big.
They
you
produce.
get a lot of meat.
You get a lot of meat off the fruit. They're very pretty. They hang from a long stem, and the fruit's kind of like S-shaped, and it's very colorful.
And I don't think they get a lot of diseases.
No, they're a nice clean. They're moderately clean. They do get a little stain, but they're moderately clean, and they're a consistent producer. They produce consistently every year. So to anyone who's going to plant their first mango or limited space, I always recommend Valencia Pride.
Me too.
Presto moments. You know, you're right, Crunch. My wife and I have always said, like, some of our most fun weekends, our funnest night outs have just kind of happened. You know, you call someone up, hey, what's up? Nothing. What you doing? Nothing. Hey, let's go here. Let's go there. Tell them about Top Golf, how we got to golf for free the other night.
Oh my God. So we went there and we ordered food. we were having so much fun, and it started raining, like raining.
The tropical
so
storm,
hard.
Hurricane Debbie.
Yeah.
Hurricane
but,
Debbie came through.
But then like it started thundering like crazy, and then the power went off in the whole entire building, and the doors wouldn't work.
Everything went out.
The
They didn't have
doors
any
wouldn't
backup.
work.
Like, you know how a lot of times in a big building the power goes out and then like some lights go on, you can hear a generator? Nothing, dude.
Nothing.
Just dead.
And the girl that was helping us, our waitress, she's like, you know, guys, wait here. It's a big line. People have to pay. And we're like, don't worry about it. We can wait. So then she came back probably like 30 minutes later, and she's like, were you a reservation or were you a walk-in? And we were like, we were a walk-in. And she's like, you don't have to pay. You just go. And I'm like,
He's like, come on, get out of here.
What?
We ain't charging you.
Like you don't have to pay, just go. And I'm not getting charged in my credit card. She's like, no. And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah. That would have cost us about $400. We had a bunch of
$400.
kids.
$400.
Because when we take my son and his football team, well, not the whole team, I mean, we'd be broke, but actually, even taking 4 or 5 of them, they eat so much, you gotta have a lot of money. These kids eat a lot. But we'll rent out a bay, you know, and you just drive golf balls all night. And we just tell the way, just bring buffalo wings, nachos,
Fun.
cheese dip, you know, and just pig out, and oh man, and we got it all for free, which was great.
Mm-hmm.
Big O wants to know who made the painting in the background. I have a very good friend, speaking of my son's football buddies, Eli, his dad, Mo, somehow just sitting at practice, Mo and I became very good friends, and we started fishing together. And Mo is one of those type of guys where he's like really, Mo didn't paint the painting, his mother-in-law did, but Mo is an artist also. Mo is one of those guys that's like real good at something. Like as soon as you teach him something, he gets real good at it.
Smart guy.
Yeah, and he pinstripes motorcycles, and like lowriders and stuff, and he does it by hand. I mean, it's amazing. It's amazing the artwork he does, and he does guitars. He'll do motorcycle helmets, football helmets, but his main thing is like custom motorcycles. He does the pinstriping, so he's an artist. His wife is an artist, and his wife's mom, Grandma Sue, is also an artist. And she came out here. She had a commission to do a painting of like avocado trees. And she wanted to take some pictures of the trees, and she was very formal about it. She made an appointment. She came out. She was very grateful, and as a thank you, she gave me this painting that she had done years before,
love it.
which was very nice of her. She didn't have to give us a thing.
No.
I mean, we're close friends, you know. And so I love it. And I just thought it was and you know what? It's funny because I wish I knew where the gift Mo gave me was. I'd show them the saw blade, but. You know, she gave me this gift, and then Mo, my friend who paints, he hand painted an old vintage antique saw, like a wood saw.
You don't remember where you put it?
It's around somewhere. Gosh dang, I can't remember where it is. But it's probably in my office.
You want me to check?
Nah, it's all right.
Okay.
I have 3 Volkswagen buses, and he hand painted the 3 buses on the saw blade as a work of art. Which was like when you talk about giving someone a gift, you can give them a $50 gift certificate to Texas Roadhouse, a gift card.
Yeah.
But like when someone does that's unique to you, or like Grandma Susan giving us this avocado painting, that means a lot, you know? So yes, excellent question. Grandma Sue gave it to us. Big O just got a cocktail mango, fantastic. You got cotton candy, peach cobbler. I don't know what else. Oh, lemon zest. Ooh. Big O, if you got lemon zest, cotton candy, and peach cobbler,
yes,
that is a really, really good. You got yourself a good tree there. Yeah. I tried lemon zest this year. It's my favorite. Lemon zest is my new favorite. White Perry also blew my mind this year, but lemon zest knocked me out. I loved it so much, I went out and bought a tree. Tony, California, you're talking about smuggling, blah, 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 blah. I'm going to pretend not to see that. You guys do whatever you want. Little Gem is also a dwarf variety. I want another bite of that Little Gem. Oh, did we eat it all?
I ate it.
Oh, that was good. Well, here's another one, luckily.
I ate it.
Cut that sucker open.
Like I even look what I did.
Oh, you sucked the seed down. That's good, yeah. Little Gem is a dwarf. I guess the tree was small. I didn't really look at it close enough to see if it was like a dwarf tree or just a young tree. Okay, Bob White. Wait a minute, I'll get to you in a minute. Frosty, hey Frosty, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, Frosty.
Bob, if you got if you bought if you got a delivery of avocado from me, say like that, I might have shipped like 10 to 14 days ago. I'm not surprised that happened. Bob White is saying he got avocados from me and he had to get rid of one or two of them because it was so hot by the time you got them, they were overripe. What was left was very good. So send me an email, Bob, and tell me your order number, and I'll send you a replacement box. Inexplicably, I don't know why they did this, but the post office sat on a shipment. I dropped off like 800 pounds of avocado. They sat on it for 3 days. It just sat in the, I don't know, in the Opelika processing center for 3 damn days. 2.5, like, almost 3 days, almost 72 hours before they even sent it out where it was supposed to go. So yeah, of course the fruit went bad. So I apologize for that, Bob. Send me a text, an email. You can go to the about, well, you got my email if you bought from me, or you can go to the about section and I'll replace your, I'll send you a replacement box next Monday when I ship again. And I'm glad the ones that you were able to eat were very good. Frosty, it's gonna cool back down into the 70s. You talking about up where you live or down where I live? Big O, when you eat mango with your family, you get the seed first. That's pretty much how we do it. We cut the cheek. She gets one, my son gets the other, and I make a little lollipop,
Yeah.
out of the seed. I kind of just peel the skin back. Actually, the skin tastes pretty good of this one too.
I know.
And I make my little popsicle. I take from the skin, take from the skin.
Oh my God, this is
Wait.
so-
Yeah, little gem or little dot. I forget what he called it, but this is good.
This is so good.
I'm surprised Paul don't like this. This seems like the type he'd like.
Because he likes more like,
He's fussy.
he is.
Paul, you're fussy. If you're on here tonight, you're fussy.
But we love you.
Little Gem is a Julie seeding with Gary. Oh, wow. Well, that explains why I like it. Artful. Oh, I've had Edward before. Are you kidding? It's one of my favorite. I love the
We
Edward.
love them.
Yeah. A friend of ours has an Edward tree, and she traded me a bunch of Edwards for lychees this year. She didn't even know they were Edwards. I identified it. Oh my God, I love the Edward. I have like 2 Edward trees in one of my groves, but I don't like grow them on purpose. They've already been there. Because they're not a good producer, but God dang, do they taste good.
So good.
Is it comparable to coconut cream? No, I wouldn't say it's similar to coconut cream. The Edward to me is like a classic mango, but it's like the top tier of the classic mangoes. Where the coconut cream, I think, literally tastes like coconut. Supposedly a pollinating parent. I'm guessing the Edward would be the parent of the coconut cream, not vice versa, right? I think the Edward's been around longer. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. A lot of times when people talk about these fruits too, they say the pollinator is thought to be. Of course, you can pretty much guarantee where the seed came from because and you record that. But a lot of times it's hard to know what the pollinator or the father tree was. So people will say it's thought to be this, it's thought to be that, unless they got like DNA testing. Where am I here? Holy cow, there's a lot of people checking in with us tonight. Okay. Instinct lives in Germany. Yeah, you only have Kent and Kit. I'm not surprised. And what are you missing out on? Do the other varieties really taste that different? They do. They taste...
Yes.
Okay, so here's what I'll tell you to do. Instinct. Wait, no. Who said that? Artful Watcher. Instinct. You live in Germany. Do this. Look up the Fruitful Trees YouTube channel when we're done with this. And subscribe to Paul. He did a video yesterday where we did a mango tasting. A few of us got together, and the range was just incredible. It was incredible. I mean, they are
Yeah.
very, like, you eat an apple, a Granny Smith is going to be a little sour, a Honey Crisp is going to be a little sweeter, a Macintosh will be somewhere in the middle. But you know, like, yeah, it's an apple. You make an apple pie with it, you're not going to be able to tell the difference. Mangoes, there are some varieties of mango if you might think it was some other exotic fruit. It's amazing,
Delicious.
right?
Amazing. Mind blowing.
Like, even with the avocados, there's differences, there's variants, but you're eating an avocado.
Yeah.
With mango, it's not like, oh, this one leans that way, oh, this is a little sweet. No, they are distinct.
They're so different.
Some have
It's
some
like a
are
whole world.
some are really honey sweet, some are acidic, some are tart, some are chalky, some are citrusy. You've got coconut, you've got spicy, you've got resin.
Tastes like ice cream, like
Yeah,
candy.
and then the textures are different. Some of them have more of like a cellular type texture. Some have like the Nam Doc Mai has a very smooth texture. You know, yeah, no, they're very, very different.
I save you this little piece here. Okay.
Right. Das good soup. Yeah, I'm not gonna worry about getting pancreatic cancer from eating too much fruit. I don't.
Who said that?
A commenter. Sorry, dude, but I don't walk through life scared of every little thing.
Okay, can I say
Tap
something?
water,
Can I
sugar,
say something? If I
fruit,
get
please,
cancer
dude.
from eating fruit, I'll die
I'll
happy.
take it.
I'll die happy.
I mean, seriously, dude.
No.
Knock that off.
No,
Grow up.
please. Everybody's happy.
Walking
No.
around all scared. Oh, I'm scared of fruit. My God. Frosty says it's normally. Oh, put your phone. See if I'm still on. Am I still on?
Hold on, just give me 1 second.
Are we still on?
Yeah,
Check. Well, I mean, is it current? No, that's that's
Okay,
like
oh,
2 hours
yeah,
ago.
You're right. Hold on. Just give me a second. Right there.
We're just checking if I'm still live because it looks like things are acting up.
Yeah, something's happening.
Can-
Okay.
I think we're live, right?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay,
We're
cool.
good. We're good.
Sorry about that, guys. We live in the swamp. Like we live in the I caught a Burmese python out back. We get rattlesnakes, coyotes, foxes,
We're in the middle of
bobcats. We alligators in the canal right over here. I mean, we're in the boonies and our internet sucks. Sorry about that. Okay, I just admonished someone for being scared of fruit. Sorry, I don't mean to be a dick, but I mean, please. No one needs to be walking around so scared of everything all the time. Okay, William Foster, you love our vids. Thank you. I appreciate that, William. Crunch, chicken time. He must have just saw you bring the hen. We're not going to eat the hen tonight. She'll probably have her eggs tomorrow,
Yeah,
though.
I'm not eating my chickens. What will you tell me?
Frosty, you're right.
But
I did say we're probably not going to eat that one. You seem pretty attached to it. Here, cut open this Gary. They're delicious.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right, Frosty. Bananas grow best in the hot weather in the 90s. Super Alfonso seems to have a lot of hype this year. Have we tried it, or do you have a tree? Artful, I don't have Super Alfonso, no. I've never even tried the Alfonso, to be honest with you. Jim S., your favorite fruit is passion fruit, and you eat as much as possible when you're back in the tropics. Yeah, we have a passion fruit vine, and ours is the sweet variety, the purple variety. Oh my God, it's so good.
It's so good.
We go out, it's like an Easter egg hunt, because some of them are 40 feet high. The vine is way up. I have like some bamboo, and it's just all grown interspersed in the bamboo. So we go out on an Easter egg hunt every day when they're in season.
It's like rain.
Yeah, and we pick them up off the ground. I'll eat like 2 or 3 right out of the husk out there. And then we usually just add it to like shakes and drinks and stuff. It is so good. Crunch wants to name the chicken Marvin, honey.
Oh, okay, Marvin.
Yeah, but you don't even know which one it was. Can you tell them apart?
No, I can't. You're right.
Orlando Gardner's here. Well, he's been here a while. I'm just getting to saying hello. How you doing, Orlando? Bill B., have we tried eating roasted mango or avocado seed?
Oh,
Never.
never. How do you do that?
Never tried that. People tell me you could eat these seeds too, the jackfruit seeds. That you could boil them and they're like a boiled peanut. You want to try some jackfruit? Oh, that's good.
So good.
Man, I'm loving jackfruit this year.
So
Loving
good.
it. Gay Space, you haven't tried many varieties. Yeah, I guess if you're up in Michigan, I think you said Michigan, you don't have a lot of variety up there. Like I said, if you could ever get down to Florida or next mango season, you know, I sell more the classic flavored,
Yeah.
the sort of like workhorse varieties, you know. Tropical Acres, Alex, Truly Tropical, which is Chris. Backyard Mangoes, which is Vince. You could, oh, and Paul from Fruitful Trees is also starting to sell mangoes. You could get more of the specialties from them.
Yeah.
So I'd encourage you next year to try some of ours and then try the specialties. Now you're going to pay more for the specialties, but you know, if you're a mango lover, it's a lot of people say it's worth it. DJ Billman. When are we doing the grafting class? You know, DJ, I brought up doing a grafting class all the way back in 2019. Then, of course, in 2020, COVID hit, but that wasn't going to stop me. I was still going to do the class. I mean, if you were scared and you didn't want to come, then I don't care. Stay home. You know, I mean, she almost died of COVID. She was on her back for 18 months, but you know, life must go on too.
Yeah.
I mean, people die in car accidents, right? We still drive cars. And so I was still going to do a grafting class. Then our house lit on fire and we were out of the house for 7 months. That was back in 2020 during COVID. And we had to move into a hotel. So everything kind of fell apart for us then, you know, and we had to rebuild the house and she got sick and I'm only now just getting things back up, you know, and getting our business, you know, it takes a long time. And, you know, if you think about agriculture, every year you shut down your business, then you reopen it. And, you know, and so finally with Mamey, I finally now have 365-day-a-year fruit sales. But when I used to only sell avocado, I didn't even used to sell mango. Then I would start selling in June. I would stop selling in January. And then come June, I got to get that engine cranking again. It was like starting up a business all over again. Well, then when you have a damn fire and your wife almost dies and you know, she couldn't even get out of bed for 18 months, it took, you know, and I had to clean everything up and get everything going. And now we're kind of hitting our stride again. And so I think I've morphed the idea of a grafting class to be more of an avocado grafting party that we're going to do. And I'm going to announce it, and people, all you guys are invited. You bring your cuttings, bring your seedlings. I'll have cuttings and seedlings here. I'll have avocados to try. And we'll have a band or maybe karaoke. And we'll have little grafting stations and some experts roving around. And people could try their hand at grafting. And I think it's going to be a fun day. So not a class per se, more of a tutoring session, a peer-driven tutoring session.
I love it.
And when that'd probably be late November. It's hard to do things in December because people already have plans for the holidays. So maybe late November or January. Nightwolf, you missed the answer. I don't have fans in the greenhouse. I used to, I don't now. Yeah, Bill B, you're the one who always, you're the first guy to comment on my TikToks all the time. Julian Donato, how you doing? You made it live. Yeah, you're always commenting like, dang, I missed the live. You made it this time. Hey, did you text my dad to jump on?
Yeah, I did.
Where the hell are you, Dad? Blind Eye, the fruit you sent me was delicious. The mangoes and avocados, delicious. The Mamey was very good. Thank you for sending. Well, you won a contest. You deserve that fruit. I'm glad you won it. Diane, it matters. I'm not farming for a living. Buying flowers from my neighbor to kill sucks. Don't mess with other people's property. You're absolutely right, Diane. Don't, right? You grow your flowers. Someone comes along and cuts them and, you know, gives them to his girlfriend, you know, gets down on his knees and proposes for marriage. That's a waste of your flowers. I mean, 3.5 out of 5 marriages end in divorce anyway. You're wasting you got a 70% chance the marriage is going to fail. Why are you stealing Diane's flowers?
You're so funny.
Leave her flowers alone. Julian, up there in North St. Lucie. Oh, yes. Your Brogdons are turning black. Oh, I can't wait till my Brogdons come in. I love that variety. And yeah, they're usually like mid to late August. So you're a couple weeks away, Bubba. I would say, you know, in a week or two, if you got a lot of them, pick the biggest one, you know, let it sit on your counter, see if it's okay. But yeah, that's an August fruit. So you're good to go. And I'm guessing you've had them since you have a Brogdon tree. Not only one of the best avocados you'll ever eat, one of the best fruit you'll ever eat. Brogdon. Yeah, it's good. Corey, you're drying out in St. Petersburg. Yeah, we're still getting steady rain and wind. You probably are too. I love the rain, but the wind kills us, man. You do not want wind if you're a tree farmer.
No.
Put more videos of avocado, Errol. Yeah, it depends on the time of year. And this year, I focused real heavy on mangoes because we've been getting into mangoes more.
Yeah.
But now we're into avocado time. So yeah, and that's my comfort zone. I feel good with avocados. Ray R. Valencia Pride eventually becomes a pretty large tree. You're absolutely right. It gets huge. But you know what? If you want to get a good crop of mango every year, you really should prune your tree as soon as you pick your last fruit. The sooner the better. So no matter if you got a huge tree or a little tree, you got to prune anyway. And so since you're pruning, you can keep the Valencia Pride to whatever height you want. You know, it's actually it's bad practice to not prune. DJ, you're in love with Nam Doc Mai. Oh, it is so good. Yeah, look up Julian. Look up Laura Farms. Come down. You're in. Where are you? You're in Coral Springs, so you're on the West Coast. I'm sure there's nurseries over there. I shouldn't say I'm sure, but there's got to be nurseries over there that sell Nam Doc Mai. Yes, it's delicious.
So
and
good.
It's polyembryonic, so you can plant the seed and you'll either get a clone or a very close replica of the mother tree, and you'll start getting fruit in year 4. So even if you can get your hands on a Nam Doc Mai mango, and since you love it, I assume you can, plant the seed, and in 4 years you'll have a few, it's polyembryonic, so you'll get a few seedlings. You'll have a few in your backyard. Gay Space, I've become one of your favorite people on this app. Oh, and you're thanking me for being me. I appreciate that. You know, here's the thing though, and you've seen this. I only go on YouTube and I only make videos when I'm feeling good.
Yeah.
If I'm having a bad day, I don't do it. If my
No.
allergies are acting up, if I'm grumpy, if my feet hurt, some days I'm stupid, I'm just not sharp. And what happens? I grab the camera, I go outside for 10 minutes, I
It's
come
like, no, I
right
can't.
back in the house.
You need
So
to
you-
have good energy.
Yeah, so I don't fake my
No.
happiness, but I only show myself when I'm happy. Jose, you're in 9B. Yeah, 9B, half acre backyard. I mean, you're right there for mango, you know, 10A, 9B. You could do it. If you're talking avocado, you're fine. Frosty is going to be in the 70s, which must be so comfortable. Frosty's up in New England. I'm not going to say the exact location because he probably don't want me to. Growing together, how are you? What's on the table? Okay, so, something we haven't tried yet. And this is one of my wife's favorite fruits. Mm-hmm. And I hope I don't embarrass you when I tell them why I know it's your favorite fruit.
Why?
The reason I know this is called longan. Mm-hmm. And I know my wife loves this fruit because there are days when it's in season. The first thing she does is go outside and pick a bunch of longans for breakfast. And when I say first thing, I mean before she brushes her teeth, before she puts on her flip-flops, before she puts on any clothes at all. She's out there with the pruning shears, which you better be careful you don't cut yourself. Buck naked, picking longans. But they're good, right? They're really sweet this year.
They're really good. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Our friends have a different variety. They sell at a fruit stand down the block. And about 2 weeks ago, theirs were super sweet, right? But whatever happened, I think with all the rain, theirs have kind of lost some of their sweetness now. My son works for them. I think he picked 200 pounds for them yesterday. But these are just starting now. They just started this week, and they are so good. So who's asking me again? It's someone I know. Growing together. So we got longans. We have Mamey. Show them the cut Mamey. Key West variety Mamey. We've got Pollock avocado. We've got May avocado, which is a new variety you're going to start hearing. I can't believe how heavy this avocado is. This is such a dense avocado. Here's a Tommy Atkins mango. Tommy, this is Little Gem. This one here, I can't remember the name. They told me the name yesterday. Stick or something. It's a weird name. stick or something like that. We've got some Kits. We've got some Kents.
Tommy.
We've got Tommy. We've got a Jackfruit right here. And I just did a TikTok live because I'm like monetized on TikTok now. They love me over there on TikTok. Actually, that's not true. You guys love me on YouTube. I'm having a hard time getting started on TikTok. No, but I am doing okay on TikTok. I'm getting some traction over there. So I did a TikTok live, and I ate a nona, sugar apple also, which was so good.
Really?
Yeah, I gave the other half to Tommy.
Okay.
And that's pretty much what we have growing together. Sky Zila, finally caught alive. Welcome, Sky Zila. Oh, Tony, wait, you moved to Florida 11 months ago and you swore you were only getting 17 fruit trees and you have 53. That's how it is, dude. I am lucky. I've been disciplined with my trees, but that's mostly because this is how I earn a living. So I have to look at this like a business, you know?
You do.
But I know, like, from having Volkswagens, you know, getting parts and accessories, you can like load up. Or when I was mountain biking, you know, tires and different kinds of brakes and everything, and or fishing gear. I could go nuts at Bass Pro Shops, you know. I go to buy like a pack of hooks, I end up spending $500. And I've seen that with fruit tree people, you know. They go and you know, I'm at a nursery hanging out. Hey, SleepyLizard, I recognize you, and I get to know them. And hey, what are you buying? Oh, I'm here looking for a Jackfruit. They end up getting a Jackfruit and a guanabana and a Mamey and a, you know what I mean? And they go home with, you know, they can hardly fit them in the van. And when they get to their yard, they're probably not going to fit it, you know. So yeah, I can totally relate. Is that a real number? 53? Tony, you actually have 53 trees? Yeah, Corey. Okay, I'm still here. God, I really fell behind, didn't I? Okay, it acted up a minute. Yeah, we're in the Everglades. It acts up. Okay, Big O, your brother used to live down past Robert is here fruit stand just before the air. Wow. Okay. So he was even more in the glades than us.
Oh, big time.
Yeah.
That's like no internet.
He was pretty deep down there.
That's like no
especially if it was a while ago. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Nowadays, that's a neighborhood. There's 1,000 units were built there. Or a couple hundred. I mean, it's a neighborhood now with sidewalks and soon to be street lights and stuff. It's very much changed, unfortunately. Get Starlink internet, DJ says. Yeah, I've looked into it. I don't know. I have a degree in computer science. I worked for a tech company my whole career. I was one of the drivers of technology in the healthcare industry. It's almost a certainty that if you've received health care in the United States in the last 2 decades, that you were either treated with a machine that I had something to do with its development or the software for it, or something to do with the sale of it. I was big in that tech field, and I hate technology now. And here's why. It's gotten so complicated. And so I looked into getting Starlink, and then you got to put it up on your roof. You got to drill a hole in your wall. You got to connect it up. Okay, I can do all that, and it might not work for the first hour, and I'll tweak it and I'll dial it in. And then 2 days later, my TV will get an upgrade. You know, oh, do you want to upgrade now? Yes or no? I'll say no 10 times. Then on the 11th time, it'll force the upgrade. And then the upgrade will no longer work with Starlink. And then I got to download Starlink software. And when I download that software and do that upgrade, it won't work with my phone. I'm out here in the Everglades for a reason. I'm trying to get away from a lot of that crap. You know, I leave my phone. If you've ever tried to call me, I never answer my phone. And most of the time I got headphones on and I'm using a chainsaw or a piece of heavy equipment. Or my phone's inside and I'm gone because I don't even take it with me all the time, you know. And so I probably will end up getting Starlink, but that's what's stopping me right now. When I was a kid, I bought a Kenwood stereo and I took it home. It was 3 components, you know, a tape deck, a turntable, a receiver, and an amplifier. You connected them all together. You hooked up the speakers, plugged it into the wall. That was it. Your stereo just worked, and it worked the same way every time. And everything was a dial, and you know there was no digital, and it worked the same. It worked every time. You know, now you buy a phone, it works one way Monday, on Tuesday. I hate that stuff.
It's horrible.
I'm ranting a lot tonight. I'm ranting a lot.
You are. You're so
Because it's my second stream. I'm full of sugar.
You're so funny.
Now look. If I tell my son, listen, I'll pay for Starlink, you go up on the roof and install it, and you're like the IT guy that runs it, maybe we'll end up doing that, because he'd be happy to.
Oh, he would.
He'd be happy to do that.
Heaven with that.
And DJ, you're right. Nam Dak Mai is a delicious mango, and what I love about it is when I'm picking it, the sap smells so fragrant. It's so nice. Sean had to go. Thanks for coming, buddy. Big O. Where'd Big O go? Yeah, okay. Drive down from Tampa. I'm figuring it out. You know what I mean? I'm trying to figure out how we're going to do this. There's a bluegrass band I hired for a party one time, and they had to cancel at the last minute. So I'm thinking of bringing them. Maybe we'll have some tunes, burgers, dogs, corn.
Awesome. That would be awesome.
You know, eat avocados, whatever fruits around.
I love that.
You know, I'll have some of the Fruitful Five will be here, the YouTube, us fruit nerds. Living life hands-on. How are you, man? It's good to see you here on the stream. How long before a jackfruit tree bears fruit? Okay, jackfruit. You'll hear me say a lot of times that, you know, trees don't grow true to seed, and we graft and we clone. Jackfruit also we graft and clone, but, and from what I've been, we grow and we love here. Jackfruit is probably the one we could get away the most with planting the seed, and you're going to get a decent tasting fruit. It's not going to be a genetic replica of the mother tree because they don't grow true, but they also don't have a wide variance in their DNA.
What's it taste? Like it always tastes good if it's a seedling?
Yeah, but you know, it's not going to be like a China or a
Got it. But they can, and how many years until they get?
Okay, so the question was how many years? Approximately 7 for them to fruit.
Wow.
7 to 10 years for them to fruit. You could get a grafted one that's already a few years on the way and get fruit sooner.
Okay.
Perry, I'm doing good. Thank you for being here. DJ, okay, you're in the Miami area. I'm going to let everybody know. I mean, I'm going to announce it. It's going to be on my community. You know, it's going to be like one of them YouTube meetups. We have a farm. We could fit a lot of people here. Graders agreeing with me that you have to prune mangoes. You're right. Okay, so Julian, you're only getting your first harvest of Brogdon. Have you tasted them yet? Because I love them. I mean, it's in my top three avocados. DJ, you got 10 seeds growing, and also, oh, thank you, I appreciate that. Yeah, you can come, or like I said, we just invited you to the party. Fraser Coast Food Forest. G'day, mate. I'm guessing you're from the land down under. You've loved watching the channel grow. If you're ever in Florida, you'd love to visit. Plus, if you ever come to Queensland, Australia, get in contact with me and you'll show me around. Yeah, I would love that. Australia is my number 2 country of viewers.
Yeah.
America is the biggest, you know, obviously I'm American, I'm in Florida. And then Australia, I get a lot of viewers from Australia and a lot of very enthusiastic participating viewers from Australia. And there is one Sleepy Lizard t-shirt running around over there. Yeah, I shipped it all the way to Australia. And so, yeah, if you ever come to visit, definitely make Sleepy Lizard one of your stops. Julian, you love Mai also, so you just call it Mai. You're like familiar. We call it NDM, you know? Or no, we call them Namdak. We call them Namdaks. Like, hey, go pick, there's 2 rows of Namdaks. Go pick them Namdaks. Step mango from Hawaii. Great or good. You're absolutely right. That's this one. This is a step mango. Yes. That's exactly what it is. Yep, step. That's
amazing.
Look at you over there. That's what it was. Perry, have dragon fruit ever been on my radar? Dragon fruit have been on my damn radar since 2019. I got my hands on one and planted it. Then a YouTube subscriber mailed me a bunch of cuttings right when our house burnt down. And I mean, I say the house burnt down. The house didn't like burn down, but a section of it got burnt out. And you know, when that happens, you're not really worried about like a pile of mail, right? Well, somewhere in that pile of mail was my package of dragon fruit cuttings.
I remember that.
Yeah. They sat in an envelope for months. I came home and I said, well, these have been here for months. There's no way they're going to grow. I threw them out in my mulch pile. About 2 years later, I found big, long strings of dragon fruit with big root systems. So I potted them, or some I put right in the ground, and I've been growing them. I haven't gotten any to flower yet. It's been about 18 months. I've got a few varieties, and I've already learned how to like hand pollinate them and everything. And so I'm ready. When they flower, I'm ready.
Yeah.
Gay Space, I'm not sure who you're talking to about. It's purely your opinion. But yeah, I think, if you're talking about the flavor of a mango or something, it's very much an opinion, Do I have any sour sop trees, and growing together wishes he could fruit them there? I do not. Someone gave me one, and I never even bothered planting it. I'm not a huge fan of it, and I plant probably a 4-to-1 ratio, maybe a 5-to-1 ratio. Like for every 5 avocado trees, I might put 1 mango. Or now we've got those 2 Mamey Americanas. We've got the Pakistan mulberry, and then I'll do 5 avocados. And then, my business is primarily avocados, and then, I'll add other things, but certain that I don't eat a lot of. Like I love Anona, I love Chirimoya, I love Atamoya, but not enough to grow it. And I love soursop, but not enough to grow it, and I can get it really easy. My workers will go pick a field somewhere and bring me 2 or 3. You know what I mean? It's easy. I have good access to the fruit, so I don't need to necessarily grow everything. Tony, Julian owes you 2 trees. You got 51 in the ground, and he owes you 2. Okay, so let me guess. Let's do a reverse contest. Tony, if I get this right, you win a Sleepy Lizard hat. You have 2 trees ordered, which means one of them is the Jamaica Mamey. One of them's the Jamaica Mamey. And if you have another tree of Julian's ordered, then it could be this Atmay avocado. It could be the Ronnie avocado. But I'm guessing you definitely have, I'm going to say you've got the, what do I want to say? The Jamaica mango and the Atmay avocado ordered. Tell me if I'm right or wrong. Jonathan Otero, you're welcome. And thank you for the compliment. What are my top 3 avocado workhorses? Okay, workhorses, Monroe, number 1. Monroe produces every year almost identical, like plus or minus 3% on the trees, and the trees always produce. So Monroe, big time workhorse. My Simmons, also steady Eddie. The trees aren't as big, but they produce like crazy. And I guess I'd have to say Donnie. In my other grove, I have Donnies, but we're gonna top work them. We're gonna put Russells. We're gonna put Russells on those Donnies because nobody likes the Donnies.
Really?
There's a few people who like the Donnies because they like a more mild avocado, and they would probably gag on this one that's such a dense, rich avocado. So I might keep 1 or 2 Donnie trees just for some of my customers that specifically ask for them. But we're gonna put Russell, which is also a good workhorse. Russell produces a lot too, and they produce nice big ones. Avo, you're welcome for the hat. I'm glad you found me and sent me your info. I hope it looks good on you. Do I ever run into a situation where avocado seeds don't grow at all? This question is from Joseph Traverso. I absolutely do. And whenever someone asks me advice about growing a tree or grafting a tree, I always say plant 10 times what you want. So if you want 2 avocado trees, plant 20 seeds and keep the 2 strongest. Give away a few, throw a few in the garbage. If you're gonna throw the seed in the garbage, throw the tree in the garbage. People get all hung up like, oh, it's a tree, Mother Nature, like back in the day, they told us not to write in your textbooks, like books were some precious thing or something. Who the hell cares if you wrote in your textbook? It wasn't like a first edition F. Scott Fitzgerald novel, it was some crappy textbook, math book or algebra or something, And so I always tell people, plant like way more than you need, and then just keep the best ones you can give away or throw away.
That's a
And of
great
course,
advice.
others are going to fail. And we do it all the time, right? No, I mean, every one of these mango seeds is going to get planted.
Yeah.
Not every one of them is going to produce a tree, nor are we going to try very hard to make them produce trees. You know, we'll just take what grows. Oh, Chris is back. How you doing, Bubba? Perry, is there a particular avocado seedling that makes for better rootstock? I mean, yes and no. They don't grow true to seed, so you can't say like every Walden seed is going to be better. But avocado growers, grafters do prefer Walden, also Lula. But any like, I like the Monroe. Any like big seed that's going to give you like a fast growing, thick stem seedling, so you could start grafting them faster. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to have like beneficial qualities as rootstock, because this Walden, and this Walden seed are going to give you 3 different sets of DNA, so they're not going to be identical. You might have a very good producer and one that's, you know, not. You don't know, you know. But those are the 2 we go. Well, Lula and Walden, I think commercial nurseries that graft in the thousands and tens of thousands of trees will go with those. Dragon Fruit Ray says, dragon fruits flower at night, and it's almost closed by 7 a.m. Get the Voodoo Child or Vietnam White that pollinate most other varieties, so you don't have to. Dude, I've never been one to go to sleep early.
No, he doesn't. I am.
Yeah. If I have to get up early, I don't bother trying to go to bed early. I
No.
just force myself out of bed if I have to get up. I try to engineer my life so I don't have to get up early. Which is weird because I'm a farmer who are known for getting up early. I'm a fisherman who are known for getting up early. I used to do marathons. Runners are known for getting out early. I used to do Ironman triathlon, but I don't really like doing stuff early. Lewis, the biggest jackfruit I've ever harvested was about 42 pounds. There's a video out there. We tied a rope around it, and I climbed up a ladder and cut it and, you know, brought it down. I think we measured it at, I thought it was about a 30 pounder by looking at it, but when we weighed it, it came in at like 42. Okay, Tony, Jamaican Mamey. Oh, and a Montgomery Mamey. I don't know about that one. Okay. But that Jamaican Mamey, you made the right choice, Tony, ordering that one. It is delicious. They're little, they're small, smaller than that. Well, they're probably that big, but they're round, and they are good.
Real good.
They are good. Did you try the Key West Mamey?
No.
To give it a, let me get another taste of that, Gary.
It's real good.
Julian uses Choquette seedlings, Jolly Green Giant, yes. Choquette also, you get a huge, it's Simmons. You get a huge seed, you wind up with a thicker stemmed seedling for your rootstock. So I agree with you there. Okay, who's ready for another contest? Can you think of a question? I got one.
Okay, go ahead.
I'll send a box of longans to the first person. This is a tough one. Who can tell me the origin of the SleepyLizard name? Where did we come up with that name for our farm, SleepyLizard Avocado Farm? I've told the story on live streams and on videos. Where did the origin story of the SleepyLizard come from? And you don't have to be exact. You can just, there's a few key elements you can come close. If I'm confused by the comment you read where you said I was one of the only people who don't hide behind a company, it's your opinion. Gosh, I'm sorry, Gay. You know what, dude? I'm lost. I'm not sure what I'm just not. I don't know what we're talking about here. Sorry about that, buddy. I'm just being dumb. I'm just communicating with a lot of people. I've kind of lost track of the conversation. I apologize. I mean, I know whatever you said was like kind of. I'm not saying you said something bad. I was just saying I lost the context of the conversation we were having. Sorry about that. Joseph wants to know, is the process of grafting a single avocado similar to grafting multiple avocados on a single tree? Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much the same. You're either going to do a cleft graft or a side graft or a veneer graft. And sometimes you can do, you know, if you've got multiple branches on your tree, you can do one cleft graft, one veneer graft, maybe another cleft graft, something like that. You know, just to see what works. But yeah, it's pretty much the same. It's the same concept. Okay, Tony, you ordered Montgomery Mamey because it came to America from Mozambique in the same year that his father planted it. Oh, okay. All right, so you've been in America as long as that variety of Mamey. Excellent.
Really
Yeah,
cool.
that's really cool. That's nice. Gay space, not quite. Not quite. Answer to the question, not quite. Julian, if I think about it, can I take up the raising of a grafted seedling after 2 months? Gotcha. You know, you're right about that, Julian. A lot of people do a grafting video, no one ever follows up on the aftercare.
No.
You know, I see a lot of people who do videos online and they'll take months to do their video. They'll do footage and then they'll finally put the whole thing together.
I like those.
I do too, and I'm just terrible at doing that. I've set out to do that a couple times, like follow the progress of something, and I create a folder and I save the videos, and then somehow I lose.
But it's because you work with your energy, you know? So
Yeah, but I also lose the story. Like when I'm out there filming for 3 hours, I have like a story in my head.
Yeah.
It's just there, and then I'm putting it together. I come in and edit. But when I do that, I kind of lose the story. You know what I mean?
I understand.
But yeah, I think I should do, although you know what you could do is maybe like they do on cooking shows. Instead of actually grafting one and waiting 2 months and filming it again, have ones already done.
Like, yeah, I see.
You
what you're
know,
saying.
and this
Yeah,
is how
like
we
a
care
process,
for it
yeah.
on day one. This is what we
I
do
like
at
that.
the week at the end of the first week. This is what we do at the end of the first month. You know, yeah, it's definitely lacking, and it's a very important part of making your graft succeed. So that's an excellent suggestion. Dennis, it's the lizard on the wall. Not right, no.
No.
The lizard, we just got that.
Yeah. Like
Our friends
a month ago.
our friends are moving, and they were like getting rid of stuff, and I was like, hey, can I get that lizard? They were like, yeah. So I took the lizard. We used to have iguanas, Night Wolf. No, iguanas don't live very long out here.
No.
Iguanas do.
Get
There's
eaten by
too many
something else.
predators. Iguanas live where there's more people. I saw one the other day, but you never see one for a couple days in a row. They
Yeah.
get eaten out here. Julian, oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, thank you, K-Space. I appreciate that. Yeah, it's actually kind of draining to do one of these live streams. You know? Yeah. Yep. I could see why radio hosts have like helpers and producers and
Yeah.
stuff. You know? Can you do the seed for the Gary for me so I can finish that up?
You want this?
Joseph is asking, have I thought of doing a live stream of one of the younger plants in the shade room? I was thinking like that would be kind of cool, you know, just to have like, I've seen where they'll put,
I prepare it for him. You just have to pick.
okay, like during salmon season, they'll have a camera trained on the rivers up in Alaska, and you could just watch the bears 24/7, you know, or at Eagle's Nest where there's like, you know, chicks hatching. I've thought of doing something like that out here where people could just watch what's going on the farm, just randomly check in.
Yeah.
I think of doing a lot of things, but I got so many things I'm doing, I don't, you know.
I get it.
But again, just before the fire, I had a couple of employees I was able to execute on stuff. We're getting close now to where I can like full-time employees. I got like part-time guys, but I'm talking like full-time, like they just know to come here every day and I give them jobs. You know, we got to get back to that.
We're getting back to that.
Ray, not quite, but you're close. Joseph, the other thing I'd have to do is go back to what we talked about earlier and get Starlink and have better internet connectivity for that too.
It's so good. I know.
You guys ever see them mukbangs they do on YouTube? They'll get like this real skinny girl, go to Kentucky Fried Chicken and Taco Bell and McDonald's and get one of everything on the menu, and then she'll come home and like eat it all. I want to do that with mangoes.
Me too.
And just
Oh
see
my
how many
God.
mangoes we could eat, like how many
Oh my
pounds.
God. I probably can eat more than you.
You might. You might. That's so good.
It's so good.
Thank you, Julian.
Yeah.
That was a delicious, Gary.
Wow. Okay, you.
All right. Those two you can give to the chickens. This one I'm eating.
Okay. Are you sure? This one?
Yeah.
Look? Okay.
Ray, you're close with the answer, but it's not right on. Shellen, as a natural lover, you like admire Sleepy Lizard on your avocado? No, not quite, but close. Nightwolf, have I had a gecko problem before? Not a problem, but we do have a lot of geckos running around.
Yeah, we do.
But it's only a problem if someone's here that's afraid of geckos, like some of your friends.
Jenny.
Like one of your friends in
Yeah,
particular.
Jenny, she's
She won't even
terrified.
look at my shirt.
She's terrified.
She's terrified of lizards. Yeah, Gay Space, I agree. Like a live stream mukbang of mango. Like we could eat mango, drink mango shakes, mango popsicles,
cream.
mango ice cream. Yeah,
Pudding.
I like it. I like it. And
Wow.
Shellen wants to volunteer. Well, are you local, Shellen? We'll have you come and do the live stream with us. Joseph is
Yeah.
asking if those coconuts are from our farm. These ain't coconuts. These are mangoes.
Those are mangoes.
These are kit mangoes, which
Huge.
grow huge. This might be a Tommy.
that's a Tommy.
That's a Tommy. I've got some giant Tommies that have they've been on the
Big.
trees all season. And I've got some big kits here. And then these are Mamey. These aren't coconuts if that's what you're looking at. These are Mamey. Here's what they look like when you cut them open. They've got like a orange, pinkish, salmon colored pudding-like pulp inside, which is delicious. I ate probably 2 pounds of Mamey every day from January to mid-June.
Yeah.
I back off on Mamey when the mangoes get here. Dennis, you are so close. I saw a lizard sleeping on a mango. You're very, very close. And Joseph, I just answered your questions. They're not coconuts. You were either looking at big mangoes thinking they were green coconuts, or the Mamey thinking they were like more like Hawaiian coconuts. Julian, you tie young tree branches while they grow and keep them at a decent angle from 90 degrees. To what? Make them grow up rather than out? I'm not sure what you're saying. Okay, okay, wait. Adnan, I got a question for you. So you say you have a Hass and a Charwill transplanted in the ground. The Charwill looks healthy, but the Hass is dropping. You haven't watered because it's winter in Australia, but you treated with garden phos, I'm assuming phosphorus, I don't know what you mean by that. Is drop normal? Drop is absolutely normal. You're gonna drop fruit. And Hass is a very healthy, vigorous tree. So, you know, it could be that you just produced a lot of fruit and the tree knows how much fruit it can hold. I mean, we drop tons of fruit. I tell people, I get people calling me crying, like, oh, I counted, I had 60 little, you know, mangoes on my tree, little avocados, and we had a storm and half them are gone. I'm like, no, your tree wasn't gonna hold 1,000 pounds of fruit.
Yeah.
It knows it needs to get rid of a bunch, and it does. So did it drop them all or just a few? And then I have a question for you. Where'd you get the Charwill? You're in Australia. I thought that was only in Hawaii on one particular grove. In any case, I'm dying to try it. I hear it's a delicious, delicious avocado. Oh, you're saying the leaves are drooping at an angle and you haven't watered? Yeah, you probably need to water. You probably need to water.
That's, yeah.
If you haven't watered and your leaves are drooping, I'd say hit it
needs
with some water.
It needs water.
Yeah, about once every 4 days. Give it a big drink for like an hour or a half hour, then let it dry for 4 days. Yeah. Okay. Shellen, you're in Tennessee, but you're willing to travel. You got your mangoes. Fantastic. I'm glad. Yeah, they are huge this time of year. Probably kits. I can't remember exactly what I sent. Plus, I'm not sure who you are. I don't know if this is your real name, and I'm not going to guess at who you are. Just I don't want to give anybody's identity online, you know. But yeah, the mangoes toward the end of this season have been amazing. The kids, I love the kid.
Amazing. Yeah,
I love a kid. Nightwolf, do I tie my branches to influence the shape of the tree? I do not. We prune in certain ways. We prune mango trees a certain way. We prune our avocado trees a certain way to encourage growth. But no, I don't directly influence the growing of branches. And you got to understand too, I got 11 acres of mango and avocado, 6 acres of avocado, 5 acres of mango, and a bunch of Mamey and other stuff too. I can't be messing around with individual trees. We just go in with a machine and just trim the top the way we want to do it, trim the sides the way we want to do it. We could never in a commercial operation do that. Okay, gay space. I have an answer to your question. How could someone stop eating Mamey? It's because when the mangoes come in, and I could only get so much food in me, and I love mango so much that it's what I eat. I mean,
It's our diet.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and she'll I say, okay, no, I'm saving these ones for a video. These are ours to eat.
Yeah.
And I'll come home and half of them will be gone. Or I'll come home and there'll be 3 halves of 3 different kinds that she saved for me.
Yep.
Or I'll say, hey, there's 3 halves or 2 halves in the fridge for you. And I go up a size. I'm a size 34 waist right now. In about a month, I'll be back down to a 32. Every year, I got my fat chick jeans that I put on
You're so funny.
during mango season. So I back off on the Mamey. I switch to mango. And then in the fall, I got to get in shape because that's football season, and I'm a football coach, and I got to look, I got to look tight for the football moms. I mean, for my players, so they have something to look up to. Charwill originated in Australia, and you sent it to Kona. I wasn't aware of that. Okay,
Wow.
I thought it was developed in Kona and patented in Kona, and only grew in. I'll have to look more into that because I hear it's delicious. Nightwolf. Okay, I answered that question. Okay, I'll call you Will then, gay space. I'll call you Will. Nice to meet you, Will.
Nice to meet you, Will.
Yeah. Ray R, how long does it take for a graft on a mature tree to produce fruit? Well, depends on the type of fruit. Yeah, I mean, mango, you're going to start getting fruit in. Mango and avocado, you're going to start getting fruit in year 3. You might not want that fruit because the tree is still too small. Now maybe a Valencia Pride has grown big enough, but you don't want like a big old 1 or 2 big old avocados hanging off a 3.5 foot high tree because it's going to just bend it right down to the ground. And you also may not want your young tree producing fruit. You want that energy going to grow wood and roots and leaves and stuff like that. But 3 to 4 years after the graft, you'll get flowers the following year.
Yeah.
And it might even try to fruit. But you're really not going to want to hold fruit for like 3 to 4 years. Night Wolf, I'll let Julian know you gave him a shout out. I should let him know if he's going to be here. Will, you're welcome. Adnam, how good was my transition from corporate to farming? Lucky me. I mean, I'm lucky until I have to pay the bills.
Yeah.
That's the part that hurts. I'm lucky until like my son gets hurt in a football game and we have shit insurance, Obamacare that sucks. But I could always go back and I haven't, right? So it must be better this way. And it is.
It is.
It is. I mean, that's the trade-off. But we've just decided to make some standard of living sacrifices that maybe, took us down a few notches, but then there's freedom and lifestyle benefits that took us up a few notches, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, me too.
And if I had it to do all over again, I'd probably do it the same. I don't think I'd get out of corporate any earlier to do this, and so I'm very, very happy with it. Very, very happy with
Me
the way
too.
this worked out. Night Wolf, what kind of pest sprays do we use? No judgment. Yeah, you're not going to judge me, but a lot of other people will. No, but we use mostly antifungal. We don't really worry about insects. We don't have too many problems with insects. I mean, of course, our avocados have a disease called laurel wilt, which is caused by a beetle, but there's not really a cure for that. I mean, a couple times a year we use a product called Botanigard that seems to be helping, but you know, the data is still not necessarily all in yet on that. And then the rest is copper. We have fungus. We don't really use sulfur down here in Dade County. Up in Palm Beach County and Broward County, they get more, the mangoes, they got to use sulfur on them. We don't necessarily need that too much down here. So it's mostly copper as an antifungal, which is quite common. It's used on a lot of crops. And if we didn't, you know, our fruit would not only be nasty and dirty and nobody would want to buy it, but if it gets bad enough, your trees get sick, they don't produce as much, they drop fruit. So mostly copper. I use Manzate early in the year on mango flowers as an antifungal, and then we switch to copper once we get fruit. And with the avocados, just copper. Nothing on Mamey. No, Mamey doesn't need anything. Nothing on this. The sapodillas get hit with copper, not because I want to, just because they're mixed in with the avocado. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's about it. And yeah, they like to yell at me. I mean, I do use Roundup, but I use it like in my driveway and along the road.
Yeah.
I don't use it near like crops that we that are for food. You know what I mean? Not you're allowed to, but I just mow as a weed kill. But like I'll use Roundup like around the foundation of the house, you know, where there's like concrete with grass and along our road and stuff like that. And I know that upsets people, but I don't really care. I don't think it's nearly as bad as people have been duped into thinking it is, and then they get all emotional about it, you know. What's my percentage of success grafting avocado in small pots? You have a less than 10% success rate. I'm probably 50% or a little less.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at it this year.
Yeah, you got better this year.
This year was a good,
Way
this year I
better.
grafted a lot. And a lot of when I turn the camera off and I sit down for a couple hours and really just graft, I'm decent. You know, I'm not, I wouldn't do it for a living, you know.
But you got better. For sure you
Yeah.
got better.
Now, when I do them for the camera, it's mostly for show. Because when you're focusing on, like, is the camera on? What's the angle? Where's the sun? Are there shadows? Can people see what I'm doing? You know, that gets me distracted. But when I just clear the table, I got my seedlings, my cuttings, my tools, and my headphones in with tunes playing, you know, probably about half of them make it. And as someone pointed out earlier, this year my problem wasn't so much the grafting as it was my aftercare of the graft. I had a lot of grafts take this year, and then I had them in my shade house, and along the western side of my shade house was a huge loquat tree. I gave it a severe haircut, and because I did, it let a ton of sunlight in that used to shade out my shade house and give my shade house extra shade. So I ended up kind of cooking some of my grafts, my mango grafts this year. So I lost some of them. Adnan knows our soil drainage is good, but have we ever dealt with root rot? Not where I am. I'm literally a few inches to a foot higher elevation than some other places. Mm-hmm. And that makes a huge difference.
Huge.
Yeah. There's some farms that are a foot lower than us. And if they're always fighting with the county, because the county can push water down through the canals and stuff like that. And the farmers are always lobbying with the county to be careful about how much water they send down this way. Or yeah, they get root rot. You know, if we get a lot of rain and the water table rises and the county sends water this way, there are farms that deal with root rot, but we're high enough that we don't. And it's crazy down here in South Florida, like a foot of elevation. I mean, water, if it's 50 feet or a foot, water is going to go to the lowest point, you know? And it's so flat here that a foot makes a difference. Yeah, it's crazy. Oh, Will changed his name. You actually updated your name. I was going to remember it, dude. I was going to remember it.
That is so sweet.
Yeah. And you're right. It's, copper is ubiquitous. Yeah, copper is out there everywhere. Thomas Van Huytzen. When or at which age can you transplant your mango and avocado trees in the ground? Greetings from Curacao. I mean, I like to put a tree in the ground when it's about shoulder height, and I'll tell you why. The smaller, the better in terms of you've got a smaller tree, so you're going to get a much better developed root system as that tree grows into itself. When you take a 7-gallon or a 15 or a 25-gallon tree, you know, that's 6, 7, 8 feet high, you're planting this big tree, but the root system's only that big across. Where if you planted it as a baby, a 1-year-old tree, by the time it gets that high, the root system is as wide as the canopy. But when you plant it small like that, you have to wait a long time till it gets fruit, but also it's vulnerable. It's small. On a cold night, it could die. If you have it in pots, you know, even here in 10B, we'll get a frost every now and then.
Yeah.
If they're in pots, you could bring them inside. If it's in the ground, it's gonna die. You know, it's just got a tiny, narrow, you know, diameter stem. Critters will eat it. If you live where there's deer notoriously eat the bark off of trees, or a little seedling, they'll just eat the whole thing. When they're small, you yourself might hit it with the mower by accident. Like I tell myself, every year I redo all my sprinklers and all the broken ones. And I say, this year I'm not gonna hit a single sprinkler with the mower. And I know where they all are, I still hit them, you know? Falling branches can crush your little tree. So so let's go to the other end of the spectrum now. The big tree, right? It's big, it's gonna survive a deer trying to eat it. You're not gonna run your mower into it, and if you do, you're gonna bounce off it, you're not gonna cut it down. You know, people are unlikely to drive over it with heavy equipment, but in the wind, you got a giant sail and it doesn't have a foundation in the ground yet. So you have to shore it up with sticks, but you know, with 2x4s or planks, but even then it's not necessarily gonna be the strongest. So maybe you go somewhere in the middle there, which is what I like. A nice 7-gallon pot, about shoulder height. My shoulder height is probably what, about 4 feet? I'm like 5'8". No, my head can't be 18 inches tall. Probably 4.5, maybe at 50 inches of height, you know,
Yeah.
or so, right? So now you've got a tree. It's not too big, but it's not so small that you can accidentally run over it with the mower. And it's still gonna have a lot of time for the roots to grow out as it grows. To me, and you're gonna start getting fruit right away in a year or two. To me, that's the optimal, at like shoulder height. Long answer, but we're on a live stream. We're not doing a TikTok here,
Yeah.
you know, so that's my answer. Yeah, Tony uses 666. Tony, I use 666. I will also use 839. And then for my mangoes, and this is something you'll need to do when you're ready to, when your mango trees are big enough that you want them to fruit, you want a 0 in that first number, or very low. That's nitrogen. Mangoes, if they want to produce, they want to grow tree, not fruit, when you give them a lot of nitrogen. So when your trees are big enough that you want them to switch over from growing big to making fruit, put a mix with a 0 or a very low number as the first number. Thanks, Will. I appreciate you. You didn't have to do that, but I wasn't gonna forget, but now I definitely won't. Paul wants to know where we're located. Homestead, Florida. We're not far from the entrance to Everglades National Park. Mm-hmm. Yeah, or from Key Largo. We're not far from Key Largo. Doug, he found us. Doug got us. Doug, I don't know. I just assumed you'd be in bed by now. You strike me as a early to bed kind of guy. You know. I know it's not even 9 o'clock yet, but how you doing? Tell Joy we said hey. Nice seeing us. The fruits look yummy. They really do. Oh, you only just got home from work.
Wow.
And that's a relatively new job, I'm pretty sure. Dang. Okay. Well, thanks for check. Oh. Here, show this to Joy if she's near you. Have her look. Look what we have.
Joy.
Right out front, off of the trees. You know right where they are. They're here when you want them. Doug's wife loves our longans. Well, she loves longans in general. Nightwolf, when I expanded the farm in the early days, did a crew plant them with machines? Nightwolf, we bought the farm pretty much planted out. And it was almost exclusively avocado, late season avocado. There was 3 mango trees, all of which were seedling trees, and a bunch of lime trees, but citrus doesn't do good here, and they were already starting to die. And then there was a lot of growth, a lot of like garbage trees, but mixed in with nice trees, mixed in with protected
They were
species.
decoration for decoration.
They were more ornamental. Eucalyptus, hardwoods, pines, many of which you're not allowed to cut. You'd have to get permission from the county to cut them down. Nor would I want to cut them down because they're beautiful old trees. And then, so how was that planted? That was planted with heavy equipment. Yes, they would run a trench. I think I can't remember, 12 or 13 rows, which means there was 12 or 13 trenches dug out. The trees put in every 16 feet, then another trench 16 feet away, trees every 16 feet. Then you put a cross trench a little more shallow. That's where you put the irrigation. You put your sprinklers every other tree. And so, yes, it was planted out with heavy equipment. Then in 2017, Hurricane Irma hit us. And it took out luckily our oaks.
Yeah. Oh, the oaks were fine.
Our oaks were fine. We lost over 200 trees in that hurricane.
Very sad.
The oaks, you didn't even know there was a storm. The oaks did amazing. They didn't even move. They didn't even move. But all that old growth and the protected trees and the garbage trees that we had, they were all down, tangled with each other. It was a mess. It took us a couple weeks of just working all day. More than a month, yeah.
It was 6 weeks.
And our friends were awesome.
Working every day.
And with that Hurricane Irma, you had to decide, were you staying or leaving? And are you staying or leaving? I'm like, we're staying.
Yeah.
And the ultimate choice I made to stay was, I got everything here. I got all my gas, my chainsaws, my tools, everything I need. And it's easier to dig out than it would be to dig in. And when I say dig in, a few trees are down. No. If we weren't in this farm and we, a few days went by and we came here to get in here, you would have needed a chainsaw to physically get back here.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have been able to sneak. It was like pick up sticks.
It was crazy.
Just trees on top of trees on top of trees. And since we were here, we were able to first things first was to cut access to the street. And it just, you make 5 feet progress, then, stack all the wood. 5 more feet progress, stack the wood, boop, boop, all like that. When we finally did get we got 2 entrances. When we got one entrance open, I'm working, I'm sawing, I feel a tap on the shoulder, it's my friend Guy. And then a couple hours later, another friend. And you gotta understand, we didn't call anyone.
No.
This was like, and a couple of them called in from work. They're like, we gotta go help people, And just little by little, we cut our way out. And then, since everything was knocked down, that opened up a whole other area that we were able to plant out. And that we did by hand. I have a guy, my buddy comes in with a drill and he digs my holes. If you've ever seen my videos, we plant in solid rock here. And so it's possible to dig a hole. If you need 40 holes, you're not doing it.
No.
You're not doing it. And so he comes out with his drill. And so we use heavy equipment for that too. And in fact, next week I'll be making a video showing some of that. Man, Will, you just got your first cucumbers. We tried to plant cucumbers in our garden this year. They rotted, whatever little ones came.
No, I think they got sick.
Yeah, we're learning as we go.
Yeah, we're good with the tomatoes.
Well, here's the other problem we have. Here's the problem we have in our garden. Okra, it grows like a weed here.
Yeah.
We have Everglades tomatoes, which are indigenous to this region of the country, to this part of the world, so they grow fine. Peppers grow fine.
Yeah.
Beans grow fine. Turnips, radishes. Things like, for me, melon, cucumber, zucchini, squash, they grow excellent here in South Florida. The problem is our garden, it's on the same irrigation with my nursery where I have my trees. After they come out of the shade house, you know, we have them in a nursery. We got to water the trees a lot. And so if I really wanted to do it right, I'd have to have, like, instead of just having big sprinklers that cover 30 feet and water my garden at the same time, I'd have to have more smaller sprinklers with sections. So, okay, we'll turn on the trees every day in the dry times, you know. We'll do this bed in the garden every third day. We'll do this bed every second day. We just water like every other day. And anything that's kind of like a melon, that's got like a starchy center with seeds, like a cucumber, zucchini, we can't do. But we were gonna pickle them in everything this year. But we're gonna expand the garden next year, this winter, yeah. So, and I'll do that with the watering. Why don't you spray copper on mango flowers? Adnan asks. Okay. I've not spent a lot of time looking into what I'm about to tell you. I'm just going to tell you what the argument is, what the common wisdom out there is, which is that when the flowers are open, copper will harm mango flowers.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Or when the flowers are open, when the insects are pollinating, spraying the copper on there harms the insects.
Wow.
And so you don't get good pollination. Other people say that's bullshit, and they do spray their mango flowers with copper, and they do get mangoes. Mm-hmm. So I don't know who's right and who's wrong in this. And with this farming, it's almost like there's certain things that are like religion and politics. People just get something in their head, and that's what it is. And you know, there's confirmation bias, you know, all kinds of stuff like that. And the way confirmation bias affects me is I spray Manzate on the flowers, and once they fruit, I do copper every 2 weeks on the fruit, and it works. And so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Could I spray my flowers next year with copper and test it out? I suppose I could. Or maybe on 3 trees, you know, test it out. But I don't have to. You know, I try in life. There's too much for me to do here as one person, but we're not making enough money to hire 1 or 2 full-time helpers. If I could wave a magic wand, I'd have 1 or 2 full-time workers. So you got to choose what you're not going to do. Like the Harvard MBA, the Harvard School of Business, you know, they give you more work than you're ever going to be able to do, because the CEO of a successful business, there's always more work than you can get to. That's the sign of a growing business, you know? And so it's the sign that our business is growing and the farm is doing good, that there's too much for us to get to. So one thing I try to not do is solve problems that don't exist.
That's smart.
You know, yes, you could always find a way to improve, always find a way to do something better. But if I have something that's functioning at a 7 out of 10, do I want to spend a lot of effort to make it function at an 8 out of 10? Or can I go work on something else that's a 1 out of 10 and bring it up to a 5 out of 10, you know? And so I don't really know the full answer. I just know that I was taught Manzate on the flowers, copper on the fruit. That's what works for me. I get my fruit and away I go. And that if there's a certain, you know, certain types of molds and stuff that you can use sulfur, but we tend to not get them down here in Dade County. So I guess I don't know the answer to your question. Because and a lot of the people I'm learning from aren't, all of the people I'm learning from aren't like botanists or PhDs.
No.
Most of them are farm workers that have just been doing it their whole life, and they don't even know why they do what they do. They just do what they do and it works, and then they teach me.
Yeah.
You know? So, yeah. Now, if we get to a point where everything's running at an 8 out of 10, then I start focusing on making a 9 out of 10 and a 10 out of 10, and you know what I mean?
I like that.
Yeah, what were you going to say?
I gotta work a little before I go to bed.
All right, then say goodbye.
It was nice talking to you and seeing you all. Mwah. You want me to leave you this year?
No, you could. You're going to give that to your birds, to your hens anyway. Okay, she saw the long hens. She probably wanted to reach through the computer and eat one, but I got a bunch for her there this year. Next time you guys come, I didn't try Juliet mango yesterday. I tried a mango that the Juliet was one of the pollinators. I can't remember which one. It might have been ambrosia. I can't remember. But it was good. John F., how you doing, buddy? Will, you're getting a crap ton of tomatoes. I remember, I'm from Pennsylvania. I remember when I lived up north, when tomatoes came in, everybody had tomatoes. When cantaloupe came in, everybody had it. Zucchini, eggplant and zucchini. Oh my God, everybody's kitchen would be just full of eggplant and zucchini. That's one of the things I like about avocados, and to a lesser extent mangoes, but certainly avocados. You don't have to pick them all at the same time. An avocado won't finish ripening until it's been picked from the tree. So you could actually store your inventory. Imagine you could leave tomatoes on the vine for 90 days, but you can't. Once they come, they tell you it's time to pick them and you got to take them. But aren't they the best, man? Your homegrown tomatoes. Tony wants to order a longan fruit tree as bait to see his wife go out buck naked. I'll tell you what, depending on some of the mango varieties you bought, they might be good enough to get her to go out buck naked for them too. I think the longan is more a function of I've planted them close to the house. So that's the trick, Tony. Plant them close to the house. Corey's back. His phone died. So Corey, I don't know if you heard me earlier. Oh, what did my wife do with my notes? Okay, right here. But you won a box of avocados. I think you might have already sent me an email now that I think of it. But in case you were gone when I said, you might be the one of the ones who sent me an email. But find an email, or send me an email so I know where to send your avocados. Do longans have certain properties? You mean like greater good? Are you asking like from one variety to the next with the longans? Like I have two varieties. I don't know the names of each because that Hurricane Irma I was talking about, I foolishly had like stakes in the ground identifying my trees and they blew away. But this one is sweeter than my other variety and they grow bigger. And then the variety my son was picking today get really plump and have a much thinner skin. And like a week, 10 days ago, they were super sweet. Since we've been getting a lot of rain, they kind of plumped up and they've gotten a little bland, that variety, where mine are just hitting their stride now. Also, the flesh of one of my varieties has a pinkish hue to it, which is really pretty. So yes, longans vary by variety for sure. Julian's gone, he said bye. We'll see you, Julian D. Donato. Will. Do work on boyfriends too. I mean, I guess it would depend on who your boyfriend is, but you could plant a longan tree out in your backyard and see if they'll run out naked and pick a few longans. I knew you meant longans. Oh, John F., you have an ambrosia? All right. Here's how good the ambrosia was. So about a month ago, Paul from Fruitful Trees sent me home with a white Perry from his backyard. I tasted it and loved it. Yesterday, I was up at Truly Tropical with Alex and Bobby and Julian and Paul, me, Chemo was there. And we tasted white Perry. And then Alex from Truly Tropical brought out ambrosia, which was a nice, big, chunky mango. It blew my mind. It blew, everybody there. We went around the table and gave our top three. It was in everybody's top three. It might have been in everybody's top two. And my entire farm, since I've moved here, I've only bought trees from Julian. I've had people give me trees that I've planted, but I've never bought a tree from anyone other than Laura Farms, right up the street from me. And Julian doesn't have the white Perry nor the ambrosia in stock. And I said, Julian, I'm sorry, I gotta break the streak. I gotta buy a white Perry and I gotta buy an ambrosia from Alex, which unfortunately he didn't have either in stock. Now I ended up taking some budwood from the white Perry from Paul's backyard before I drove home last night. And I'm gonna graft the white Perry, and I'm gonna just wait until I could get my hands on an ambrosia. You struck gold. You're gonna love. Well, I shouldn't say that because tastes are subjective. I loved it. I loved it. If I try a mango and my first thought is I want my wife to taste it, then you know I love it. You know, yeah, I was blown away. Yeah, ambrosia is just amazing. Oh, Julian, you were saying goodbye to Noe. She's already gone. Noe, Julian says goodnight. And yeah, John, you're gonna love that ambrosia. Corey, okay, you emailed me good. Juju, hello. Okay, what is a good nutty high fat avocado cold hardy that I sell? Okay, nutty is the Simmons. I don't have one in front of me right now. Sorry about that. Nutty and delicious. Also the Brogdon, kind of tastes like a pistachio nut. Well, I don't know if it's high in fat or not. I don't know that particular metric. I think the Brogdon is known to be high in fat, but I'm not positive. Cold hardy Brogdon is, oh, I don't sell trees, by the way. I only sell the fruit, Juju. Cold hardy, Simmons is not cold hardy, but it's very nutty. Brogdon is cold hardy, and I think it's known to be pretty cold hardy. So I guess someone else might have a better answer, but my answer would be a Brogdon for you, if that's what you're looking for. Fraser Coast Food Forest, you have a jackfruit seedling that's flowering, all male. Is there any way to induce female flowers? I don't know, but you know what I gotta do? We gotta do a live stream like this where we have some more knowledgeable people. Like, I'm not, like Julian, Paul, Alex, those guys, they're much more knowledgeable about that level of detail. You know, I just don't, you know, I don't get that. You know, I don't grow as much variety as they do. I'm working with mature trees that are already fruiting for the most part. I'm not really worried about like grafting and getting my trees going and that sort of thing. Cause I'll just buy, you know, I'm better off just buying 10 7-gallon trees and planting them, you know, financially. It's much better for me than waiting 10, you know, grafting my own and keeping an inventory and hoping they, you know, they take and all that stuff. So those guys know that a lot better than I do. And is there a way to induce female flowers? Yeah, they might know. I don't know, Fraser. Sorry about that. DOLL, what is my most underrated mango? That's an excellent question. And I'm kind of known as maybe someone who doesn't have as sophisticated a palate when it comes to mangoes. My mango buddies kind of laugh at me because I'm a garbage head. I'll just eat whatever mango you put in front of me. I think I'd have to say the Kit. The Kit's a late season. It's classic. It's known to be a commercial variety, so people kind of snub their nose at it. But I think it's delicious. It's got a dark orange flesh. It's just got a nice flavor to it. And so maybe the Kit, although a lot of people do know the Kit, you know, I do come to the defense of the Tommy all the time. I don't think it's so much that it's underrated. I think the Tommy gets a lot of justified hate that has much more to do with the grocery store, you know, and the logistics of commercial mango growing and selling than it does the fruit itself. I think a backyard grown and appropriately picked and ripened Tommy is an excellent mango compared to what you get in the grocery store. Let me think about it as I'm answering other questions and see if there's an underrated. As far as underrated fruit go, I definitely have one underrated fruit, and it's the banana. People are used to those crap Cavendish bananas that they have in the grocery store, and we sell tons of them, and people eat tons of them because, you know, you're supposed to eat bananas. They're good for you. I grow variety, and but you know, if you walked in my house right now, you'd be like, oh, mangoes, oh my God, avocado, oh, are they longans? Oh my God, is that a jackfruit? Oh, I had a sugar apple earlier. Oh, can I get some of that sugar apple? No one ever walked in your house and saw a bunch of bananas. It was like, whoa, you got bananas, right? We grow varieties of bananas here that if you tasted them, you would do that. The blue Java is amazing. The Gros Michel, which used to be the main commercial variety, hasn't been around since the 60s commercially, but you could still grow it as a backyard crop. There's a few other varieties. They're just so fruity and sweet. So I feel like the banana is an underrated fruit, but I can't really come up with an underrated mango per se. Do longans grow true to seed? They do not. After watching my videos on mono and polyembryonic variety, you started a few, Dennis started a few Atulfo mangoes. Do you top them or pinch them back? Just pinch them for now. Pinch them for now and just let them grow. But you know, you could pinch the top growth. Greater Good Day has a decent fat. Yeah, that's one I've yet to try. Thank you for the compliment, Will. I appreciate it. Juju, that's right. I haven't tasted the day. You know what, Juju? I didn't ask a question, but you just won a Sleepy Lizard avocado farm hat. So Juju, go into the About section. You can send me an email, the About section of my YouTube channel. Send me an email and I'll send you a hat. That was some really good Sleepy Lizard YouTube channel trivia you got there. Julian, you're saying you need another tree. Is that the ambrosia? Which tree are you referring to? Paul, what mango flavors do I favor? I favor the classically flavored mangoes. When I like to bite into a mango, and it reminds me of 30 years ago when I moved from Pennsylvania to South Florida, and I first got here, and I'd get a mango shake, or I'd buy mangoes out of the back trunk of somebody's car along the street, you know, or I'd grab some at a fruit stand, and it just brings me back to my early 20s, you know, and I'm just loving life. You know, everything was going good in my life at that point. And I just love the classic mango flavor. I love the when there's a little essence and some hints of coconut. So like it starts with a P, the Pickering mango. I love. It's you know, got that coconutty. It's also got a little bit of a classic. Valencia Pride I love. It's got the classic flavor, a little bit of citrus. If it's ripened properly, a little bit of coconut in there. I was saying earlier, you know, I like some of the more specialty ones like the White Perry, the Kesar. I just tried lemon zest for the first time. It was delicious. But the ones that are like kind of fragrant, kind of resiny, kind of spicy, I love them. And I could enjoy a mango, maybe share a second one. But like you put a Valencia Pride in front of me, a Gary, even a Hayden, I'm going to town. Like I'll just eat them. I'll eat them till I pass out. You know, like I'll just go nuts on them. So for me, it's the classic flavor profile. Julian, Oro Negro is not only cold hardy. I've read that it's the most cold hardy. That there's some evidence that it'll survive a few hours even below 20 degrees Fahrenheit. Not sure if that's true or not, but I've read that. Not something I'll ever be able to test here in South Florida either. Juju, you had a tree die in 40-degree weather. One thing you got to remember, anytime you're talking about cold hardy, you're talking about a mature tree. So Juju, if you had a tree die in cold weather and it was just, you know, half-inch thick trunk or an inch thick trunk, that's a lot different than a 30-year-old tree with a big old trunk that's got heat, you know, it's got heat inside of it. You know, it's been storing heat all day. It's been, you know, sun's been radiating down onto it. Also with a big mound of decomposing mulch, leaves, branches, all kinds of crap underneath it, that creates heat. And that heat rises and gets caught in the branches. So a mature tree is unless it's a windy night, a mature tree will usually be a few degrees hotter underneath than like the temperature reading you get, like if you Google, you know, the temperature in your town. Also, we get microclimates. So the temperature in your town might be getting read from like the roof of a building or the nearest airport. Out where you live, you might be higher elevation, lower elevation, you know, all that changes. But regardless, a big mature tree is going to be thicker, so that it's going to take a lot more time in the cold. But also it's got its survival mechanism of all the stuff that falls underneath the tree is generating heat as it decomposes, and then the branches contain that heat. So a more mature tree is more likely to survive in the cold. Is it true bananas have too much sugar and are no longer as healthy? No, I don't think that's true, Instinct. I think there's a lot of nonsense out there about, I don't know why people are afraid of food. They're afraid of water. They're afraid of air. I mean, like, dude, like, stop, you know, like, people are going crazy we live in this culture of fear now. Like, the news has everyone like so scared of everything. People are literally, they're scared of food. Like, oh, that'll kill you. Oh, that'll kill you. I mean, like, come on, dude. Like, you know, oh, I never drink tap water. That'll kill you. I mean, it's water. It's not arsenic, you know, it's not sulfuric acid. And so I don't believe any of that stuff when I kind of block that stuff out, Instinct. So no, I wouldn't. Look, I'm not a scientist. I don't know if bananas have more sugar or less sugar, but I don't buy that kind of stuff. Now, I have customers who are diabetic, and they can't. A lot of times they got to be careful what fruits they're eating. And we grow a fruit called sapodilla that's extremely high in sugar content, and that's a fruit that a lot of diabetics have to avoid. You know, but yeah, it's a special case. But no, I wouldn't worry about dying from a banana. I mean, even in cartoons, like you slip on a banana peel, you're probably more likely to die that way. Again, I'm not a scientist, so I don't have the data, but I wouldn't sweat it. Julian, you're going to get the ambrosia. I was blown away. And so you'll see it. If you go to Paul's Fruitful Trees channel within the next week or so, he'll have the video of the Fruitful Five. Me, Julian, Paul, Alex, and Bobby trying these mangoes. And all of us just went nuts for the ambrosia. Crystal wants to know what kind of mango tree would I recommend to plant in zone 9B. I mean, there's really no such thing as a cold hardy mango tree or anything like that. 9B, you're right there for mango growing. I always recommend Valencia Pride. As I said earlier on this stream, Valencia Pride is going to grow the fastest. It's going to give you a very high quality fruit. You're going to get an excellent yield, and you're going to get that yield every year. And it's not like the Mahachinook might be a little more resistant to anthracnose, but the Valencia Pride's pretty resistant too. The downside of the Valencia Pride is when you get a lot of rain, the fruit tends to split. If you're growing it as a backyard crop, not as big a deal. You know, if you get 100 fruit on your tree and 20 of them, not even 20, 10 of them split, you can still eat the other half that didn't split. Now for me, when fruit splits, it sucks because I can't sell it, you know, but the upside is I get to eat it or make jam out of it. But Valencia Pride is my go-to recommendation for anybody for a first-time growing mango tree. And then the other recommendation would be go to a festival and try as many as you can. Crystal, I don't sell mango trees. I don't sell trees at all. Corey, you're right. Everyone's running around scared, you know, and they love, like, someone texted me like, hey, if you're ever, you know, mugged and they take you to the ATM to empty your bank account, key your PIN code in backwards and it will trigger the police to come. And I'm like, well, what if my PIN code is 1221? How do I key that backwards? Like, just apply a little like, and they were going, like, they were telling everybody this tip. Like, how often are you going to get mugged? And, you know what I'm saying. Will, Michigan summers are 80, 90. So you in Canada have a fruit called pawpaw. Yeah. I hear a lot about pawpaw. I think some people down here even grow it. And And it's kind of in that mango or mangosteen neighborhood, if I'm not mistaken. I hear it's delicious. Joe Serrano, hello from Florida. He's down in Mexico. You remember me from a video of mine when I told us the difference of mangoes, mono or polyembryonic. And greetings for your grandson, Tommy. Excellent memory. And yes, I am an old man, but that's my son. My wife, that Tommy's my son. We had him later in life. We were married, and it took us 11 years and 2 minutes to conceive a child. John F. is eating a mango now. You goddamn better well be eating a mango. You're a tropical fruit guy, and it's only the first week of August. I'd be mortified to hear you were sitting eating a bowl of chocolate ice cream when there's still mangoes to be eaten, John. Jeremy Pinto, thank you for being a mentor. You're welcome. You have an Oro Negro. How would I rate it against other avocados? You're north of Tampa. Okay, first of all, since you're north of Tampa, you made a good choice with the Oro Negro because it's highly cold tolerant. So that's a very smart move. As far as eating quality, I've not tried one yet. I've heard great things about them. I've not tried an Oro Negro yet. I've yet to taste one. And so I don't know about it. But what I hear about it is great. People love the Oro Negro. And I planted one. I have one Oro Negro that I put in. And I think it was a 15-gallon. So I expect it to fruit next year. We'll see what we get off of it. What else would I recommend? If you have the Oro Negro, let me look it up. What's the Oro Negro flowering type? Whatever Oro Negro's flowering type is, I would recommend you get the opposite. So Oro Negro flowering type is, Oro Negro is a type B. So you'd be looking for a type A. And you also, since you're way up there north of Tampa, you want a cold hardy. So a good cold hardy is a choquette, and that's a downside is your Brogdons are going to be coming in August into September, and then Choquette starts in September, so you're going to get some overlap. One thing that's nice to try to do when you're pairing avocado varieties in a backyard, you want a type A, which is, what did we say? Brogdon was a B. You want an A with a B, so a Brogdon with a Choquette, so they pollinate each other. But it's also good to have maybe one that's a little earlier in the season and one that's a little later, so you have more months of avocado to enjoy. I would say Simmons is a type A, but that's not cold hardy. Gosh, what would another type A that's an early season? What's a Miguel? What's a Miguel? Let me look up the Miguel. Miguel, avocado, flowering type. It's a B. You need an A. Let me stew on that for a minute, or if anyone out there has an idea. I mean, Choquette would be a great accompaniment. It's just you'd have some overlap. You'd have Brogdons and Choquettes at the same time, which there's nothing wrong with that. But if you have the opportunity to stretch your season, that's the thing to do. Julian, you find avocado grafting more successful than with mangoes. Yeah, that's the general consensus also from people. Avocados are survivors, man. They want to live, Pawpaw can get down into the 30s, okay. Joe's asking, in the mango video, I showed you the Haitian mango. Yes. Sounds similar to what we know here in Mexico as the Manila. Okay, you're right. It is similar. But it's not, they're not the same. Have I tried the Manila? No, but I'm familiar with it. And we haven't had that Haitian, I must have made that video 3 years ago because we haven't had the Haitian mango in 2 years because of all the political turmoil going on down in Haiti. And I've heard a rumor of like one person up here who grows them. I don't know why nobody grows them up here because people go crazy for them when the fruit stands, when the imports come in. But nobody grows them here, and they are delicious. Oh, Papa's with the Anona family. Okay, well, I did a TikTok live earlier, Mad Farm, and it was my first time ever doing a TikTok live. It wasn't very successful. I made 6 cents. They tell you how much money you make at the end of the live because people give you coins like you're on OnlyFans or something, like you're a stripper, they're giving you tips. I made 6 cents. I got like 12 tokens. They must be worth a half a cent each. So I made 6 cents on the live. And I did eat a sugar apple, which I wish I had the other half for you guys to eat, but I gave it to my son. He loves them. Joe, don't be silly. I wouldn't expect you to think he's my son. I'm 53 years old. I mean, most of my friends are starting with their grandchildren, and so no problem at all. Broke Farmer, how you doing, Bubba? Okay, Julian, the Catalina is August, September, but that'll overlap with Brogdon though. And isn't the Catalina also an A? No, we're looking for an A, right? But that would overlap with the Brogdon too. Now, back to your question about what to pair with the Brogdon, and I said Choquette. Just because you can start picking the Choquette in September doesn't mean you have to. So you can have your Brogdons August, September, and then you could start picking Choquette October, November, December. So you're looking at like a 5-month out of the year avocado season, which ain't bad. It's almost half the year. Instinct, the effort is probably not worth it, but is it possible to save a damaged fruit that I can't sell by cutting the damaged part and grafting a healthy piece from another fruit onto it? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Like if I have two bad like this half of this mango and that half of that mango and I stick them together, or do you mean like a tree? Clarify, wait. But is it possible to save a damaged fruit? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Plus, we've been going 2 hours. I think it's time to quit. Well, actually, probably more like over 2 hours. It's 9:30 at night. For you folks over in California, it's 6:30. And I think this was very successful. It got the whole gang out. It was great to spend an evening with you guys. We've had this tropical storm, and I've been having cabin fever all day. I can't go out and work. I mean, it's not safe to go out and work when it's all windy and wet and stuff like that. So I tend to try to play it on the safe side. And so I had to do something, So I tried the TikTok live, and that was kind of cool. But I don't know anybody over there. I don't really have any long-term followers. Where I have you guys here and you're all my friends. And so I asked my wife, I said, well, I have all these half-eaten fruit from the TikTok live. Why don't we just jump into a YouTube live? Which is exactly what we did. And you guys showed up and was supportive and active as always. And I appreciate that. Let's see if we have any more. I'm on a first name basis with Will now, which I appreciate that. And okay, so Julian says you could even leave the Choquette longer on the tree, which is good. And then, yeah, thank you, Will. Good night to you too. George is saying goodbye. Juju's saying goodbye. So with that, I'm gonna say goodbye to y'all. And like the last stream, the next time I do one, I'll publicize it. I'll set it up like an event, and we'll publicize it a few days ahead of time. And so we can all come back and have some fun. I'll try to get one more in before we're out of mangoes. And so we'll see you on the next stream. Thank you. Good night.